Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran, sitting in River Maxwell Brown's chair, and I'm here with River Brown, Mr. Andrew Velez, and Mr. Joel Dells.
Yes,
Why did you tell the world my government?
They've
already known it's Maxwell.
Yeah.
Definitely known it's Brown.
Everyone knows your middle name is Maxwell.
I think we said.
I don't think the new people have.
Literally last episode.
We literally said last
We said
episode.
Maxwell
Oh
would be
shit!
second
Yeah. Just threw me off because then after you just said River Brown.
Did the name order mess you up because you're the way you're looking now? It's not.
It
You know
did
what I
mess
mean?
me
It's
up
like
a
it's
little
either
bit.
Riv me Drew or Drew me Riv.
I was going to say your name next after I said Riz, but then I said I can't.
That's not how it works.
Because
Yeah,
it's not how it works.
It's not the lay of the law.
And you can't change up everything too much. There are a couple things that have changed. The seating arrangement with River and I have changed. My teams have changed.
No, this is.
I'm not on the losing side of things anymore. It feels great. It's a good feeling. You know, I feel like LeBron getting out of Cleveland.
Okay.
Like I'm rebirthed. It feels good. It feels good.
It's been a week.
Yeah,
It has been a week.
1 week.
But I will say, my mom talked to me today. And she gave me a scolding. She talked to me, and she talks in sense to me because
Overdue.
before I was leaving the house, I went to go to the gym. My hot water doesn't work. I need to replace the water heater.
Oh shit.
So yeah, it's been like 15 years, so it's due.
Oh,
It's
okay,
due.
okay.
Usually they last like 10 to 12, so it lasted 3 more years.
You're getting your money's worth.
Exactly. So I went to the gym, and before I was heading out, I have a Jets keychain on my car key.
You definitely threw it away.
and
You put it on Instagram. You didn't see that?
I
I
didn't
did
see it,
not.
no.
No.
And I deleted it because she scolded me after that. And that's why I deleted it. I took the chain, I ripped it, I just flicked it on the ground. I flicked it on the ground.
Why'd you litter?
I just said it's
They hate
time.
littering.
He did it in the house. He
Oh,
threw
okay.
it
I
like a
did do
piece
it in
of
the house.
garbage.
Oh, okay.
I just said new beginnings. Like shout out to new beginnings. And then, you know, we were talking and she told me you have to be nice to them. You have to be nice to not only the Jets, but every team. And I told her, but you don't understand the damage they've caused me for so long. And then she said, listen, you have to be for everybody, so everybody could be for you.
It's a great quote.
Drop some knowledge.
Yeah, it's a great quote.
She dropped the banger.
Little did she know I'm too deep into this.
Yeah, you really are.
Way
It's
too deep.
Too deep.
Jets fan.
But also, it's never too late. So I decided I'll be nice. I'll be tame. I won't disrespect the Jets.
Okay.
I won't talk about
just
them
the
in any
Jets
way.
or
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
Like,
This
this is
also,
strictly-
this also is for
Every
any
team?
other team, but there's a difference between, you know, crossing a line and being objective about
You
things.
were actively rooting for the Steelers yesterday.
Absolutely. It
Like,
was
No, you were in
like
chat
you were
going
a
nuts.
diehard
Yes.
Steeler
It
fan.
was the first time that I rooted against the Jets in my life in the
Oh.
last 15 years.
I've rooted against Jets plenty of times in my life.
I get that.
Plenty of
Maybe
more.
because-
Actually,
Rams?
probably more than I've rooted for them. Now I'm thinking about it.
I that was the first time that I actively rooted against the Jets. And god damn, was it a good feeling. It was the feeling of, wow, I actually feel like I'm going to win this one. When I was the Steelers and I was like, wait, 3 and out? They're punting the ball back to Aaron Rodgers? Oh, they're about to win this, aren't they? I've just seen this story too many times. Then Chris Boswell hits a 60-yard field goal for the
He's
game.
OD.
That shit was tough.
Having my fantasy, and that's why I was happy too,
That's
because
probably
it gave me some
common
points in my
5-6
fantasy.
points.
But also, it made me happy because, God forbid, they win the first game, best offensive performance in so long, and I get these comments, oh, you decided to switch at the worst time. But no, everything's back to normal. They lost.
It's gonna be
right
sweeter when we beat the Bills
decision.
next week.
It is. Maybe it is. But yeah, she scolded me and she told me, and I said, okay, you know, I'll start being nicer to them. I'm not going to be disrespectful because I feel like I started crossing a line with the disrespect. I was being a little bit too disrespectful, and I still have a soft spot for them in my heart. If I play Madden 10, I'm using Mark Sanchez and the Jets.
Okay.
There is a certain Jets logo that still resonates with me and brings out emotions.
Of course.
If I brought all of my Jets gear and I laid it out on this table right here, it would fill up the table. And my mom called me gracioso, which what that means is I'm funny. Because when I told her I'm switching my team, she said, you can root for whoever you want. And I said, thank you, Mom. And then she said, you have Jets covers, you have Jets blankets, you have Jets socks, I have Jets pens, I have Jets pencils. And she was like, just telling me I'm funny for rooting against them when I got Jets things littered in the house of everything. You can't walk somewhere in my house and not see something Jets related. So they just call me funny for that. But I said, no, Mom, I've had enough.
You know what I'm starting to realize, Joel? And maybe you don't see it now, but I think one day you will. There's a part of you that realizes you made a mistake. There's a part of you that feels bad about what you're doing. And I think that it's evident, but you're with the Packers.
He's in too deep.
But you've put yourself
He's
far in.
He's in too deep. He has to go with the gimmick now.
There's a part of you that knows what you're doing doesn't sit right with your spirit. You may not see it now, but maybe in a few months,
maybe in a couple years,
maybe in a few years, you're gonna be like, man,
Jets 2029
I
champs.
can't believe I walked away
Never
from
know.
the Jets.
Never know. He's gonna be like, damn, I should have been there.
Because I feel like you have to put together the Jets and the Knicks. It's like they've had so many decades of being miserable. And now they're finally good, the Knicks. And when you were finally able to celebrate your ECF appearance, you were through the moon. You beat the Celtics. It was a movie. Think about how you felt. Same how you probably felt when the Jets beat the Patriots. Same how you felt when the Jets beat the Colts. Same when you felt when the Jets beat the Chargers. You were to the moon. And, unfortunately, similar to the Knicks, you fell short. You didn't make it to the big game. But there's something about seeing the lows and finally getting to the high. With the Packers, what's the fun?
I don't know. There is no fun.
The fun is he's a Jordan Love fan. And I've been vocal and consistent.
It's fun.
I've been consistent.
It's fun.
Giving you your acknowledgement and your credit. That is where you get it. It's the Micah Parsons edition. Plus now you becoming the fan. I think that's what's rubbing
It's a good point.
a majority of the fans the wrong way.
I'm an evil person.
Oh,
And
shit.
I've realized that. I think I'm an evil person. And when I decided to lead the Jets, there is part of me that is emotional. I was very vocal with you guys about, how I felt and how emotional and raw that moment was for me. There was 3 choices between who I wanted my favorite team to be, the next team to be.
Yeah, I saw this and it threw me off.
It was the Green Bay Packers, the LA Chargers, and the Chiefs. The Chiefs were 3.
Where are the Chargers coming
What
from?
about the Raiders?
Where's
just-
where's,
No,
where's,
no, quite literally.
What about the Raiders too?
The Raiders.
Throw them in there.
My girlfriend's sister's
Oh.
boyfriend is a Raiders fan.
oh my
Okay.
God.
And he asked me, he actually asked my girlfriend, and he was like, tell him to come to the Raiders.
Got
and I was
Gino.
like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
You can't leave the
This
Jets
is
and
what
go
I
to the
just
Raiders.
left. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
no
be
way
a
in hell.
Raiders fan. I'm not gonna be a Raiders fan. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, evident. But that's too bandwagony, right? I can't be a bandwagon.
You're already
You're ready to
there.
do it. You're ready to do it.
I can't do that. So the Chargers were the next team up because they show me so much love. If I wanted to be a Chargers fan, they would accept me with open arms, no questions. Every tweet I tweet about the Chargers bangs. They love me, and I have an
Yeah, they're
attachment to
begging
them.
for fans. They're literally begging
I
for
could
fans.
be the face of Chargerland.
You could.
And then in 2021, I started my content journey. Our first segment on Pick a Side that blew up was
Yep.
a Chargers Herbert video.
It was.
My personal channel. I would make a video about the Chargers, Mike Williams becoming an X receiver to get like 3,000 views. Like they loved like anything I put, and that's why I really loved
Didn't they
them.
use you in a video, the social
I think
team?
so. I think
like
so.
a tweet or something?
Yeah, so that's why like the Chargers there's already an embrace there, but the reason why I didn't pick the Chargers because there's no real emotional attachment to that team.
Mm-hmm.
The emotional attachment I have to the Packers is to Jordan Love, and that is I actually thinking about it today. He saved me. Jordan Love did.
He did.
Jordan Love saved me.
He might have.
Jordan Love was one of my quarterback evaluations that I said, this guy's going to be special. And I had to endure years of it. And I watched Zach Wilson fail miserably. And I was in the dumps and I was in the dark and I was questioning whether or not, am I washed? I was questioning if I'm Aaron Rodgers right now. I was questioning, am I just not good at this?
Or the retirement?
And then Jordan Love came along and I had to wait a long time for it. But when he came along and when he bursted onto the scene with 3 touchdowns it was against the Chicago Bears in week 1. And when he had the second half of the season, or that comeback went against the Saints early in the year where he was incredible. We saw the miraculous second half Jordan Love. He restored my faith in myself. And he saved me. Jordan Love saved me.
Listen, sometimes you need a little confidence boost. Sometimes not only do you need to see success right from your own eyes, but sometimes you need a pat on the back too, right? You need to get that someone that's next to you and be like, you know what, man, you can do this, you can do that. I'm not going to be the guy that gives it to you. Maybe one of these guys will, you know?
With that being said,
Jesus Christ.
cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, fellas.
Week one.
Cheers. Week one. This was an excellent week one. In this episode, we have a really fun show. We're going to talk about the major storylines, and then we're going to talk about some in or out statements. So instead of just giving you guys a basic week one overreaction and we all go full circle and say, this is our overreaction, instead, we have a list of overreactionary statements. And all of us are going to have to say if we're in or out. None of, I'm in the middle. None of,
It's Ray's favorite.
I don't know. I gotta see. I
Double
gotta
entendre?
see. That is Ray's favorite. I gotta see. That is his favorite.
I hate overreacting. I
not
hate
sure.
overreacting.
No, none of that. It's you are in or you are out, because the goal of this segment is to make us look like idiots weeks later if we chose the wrong side. It is called pick a side. You gotta ride with your team even if they're at their worst.
Interesting.
You got to ride with
What
your
a
team.
quote. Did you hear what he just said?
No, absolutely.
No. The
I'm
irony
almost
is
left.
beautiful.
There's
the
nothing-
irony is beautiful.
Even
There's
if they're at
nothing
their
he can
worst.
say that surprises me.
I mean, this
There's
guy
nothing.
is generational.
Tomorrow he could be a Lions fan. I'd be like, another day. Just another day.
Another dollar.
Just another
What
day.
was worse than Jordan Love throwing a pick against the Niners? Heartbreaking. What was worse than Jordan Love losing to the Eagles in the playoffs? Heartbreaking.
That shouldn't have been heartbreaking. You should have known that was going to happen.
Oh no, they got so
That
many
should have
injuries. We'll talk
never.
about
That should
later.
have
We'll talk about
never
that
been
later.
heartbroken.
It's good that every year's a new year.
Yeah, for sure.
It's good that every year's a new year. Because I'm tired of hearing this from you.
It's only been a year. You've heard about it.
A couple months, you're right.
Yeah.
I thought I wasn't going to hear about it, but here we are. The Celtics won the championship
Get
too,
used to it, man.
and I was miserable.
Get used to it.
It was awesome.
Had 3 years of hearing about how my favorite players are terrible. Like, it's been literally 3 years, all right? Couple months you'll live.
So this segment is for us to overreact to. So
I love
in or
overreacting.
out.
And
we
I
have
love
to-
that we're starting the show with
Yeah,
this.
I
This
love
is
overreacting.
awesome.
Oh, you guys want to start the show with it? I didn't know we were going to do it.
I didn't. That's kind of the vibe I just got
I'm
from
down.
it right now. Let's do
I was
it.
going to do the statements
questions first.
Yeah, we have the questions.
All right.
I guess we could say that for later if you want.
All right.
And then the last segment of the show is going to be our weekly awards. So every week, Monday, we're going to do pick a side weekly awards. We're
Like
going to
that.
highlight an offensive player, defensive player, a fraud team, an oppressive team, and then also a rookie that had a really good performance as well. So we're going to do that every Monday. That's what you should expect. And then Wednesday, you should expect the pick 'em and then the analysis on those picks. If you guys want to overreact so badly,
I do.
I'm in the mood to overreact.
let's overreact so badly to this. Okay. In or out, week one overreactions. The first one, the Chiefs won't win the AFC West.
Well, right now they are in last place.
They are.
Like, factually speaking, the Chiefs are in dead last. We went through it last time. The receiving core is absolutely destroyed. Xavier Worthy, he's seemingly going to miss some weeks. Rashee Rice, we know for a fact, is suspended for 6 games, 5 more at this point.
They said Worthy's day to day.
Really? Yeah. Do you believe that?
They, from the doctors on Twitter that, do like PT and stuff, they said that it's unlikely he could actually be day to day and play. If he does play, the chance that he re-injures his shoulder skyrocket. So he could play, but if he gets hit on it again, which you're playing football, you probably will, he could be out for the season. Who knows?
If he weighed 190, close to 200 pounds, I'd be like, you know what, dude, go ahead, lace him up, go give it a go. He weighs $150.
Soaking wet.
$150. You
Here's the
got to be
thing.
careful.
He might be cooked because Xavier Worthy, basically his shoulder's dislocated. That's just a fact. His shoulder's dislocated. He needs surgery on it. He can play on it.
Facts.
He can. But he needs surgery on it.
At some point.
So
yeah.
he is just prolonging the surgery process. If he gets surgery on it, his season's over.
And it could get worse too.
So
if he prolongs
it depends on whether or not he is willing to go out there and take hits. If he gets tackled the wrong way one time, if he's in a run block and play, they probably won't use him there based on his injury. But let's just say he gets jammed at the line against a corner. That could be it. So Xavier Worthy's on thin ice. I'm basically under the assumption that they're not going to have him this year.
All right. I want to overreact and say, yes, they're not going to win the AFC West. The only thing is there's no team that truly wowed me outside of the team that I was the lowest on coming in. Mm-hmm. The Chargers by far and away looked the best in our division. The Broncos were wildly underwhelming, specifically talking about our offense. Our defense was out of a movie. It was incredible. Going up against a rookie, we should have expected a dominating performance. But it was even better than what I thought. The Raiders, they won like I expected.
They look good.
Nevertheless, I still don't know if I believe in that defense. The
The
offense
offensive
looked
line.
awesome. Gino looked awesome.
looked
Brock
awesome.
looked awesome. Don't get me wrong. The offense clicked outside of maybe Genti, his inconsistency. But even still, he got into the end zone. There was no team that overly moved me except the team that I think is a little bit too hyped. So I want to still say they're not going to win the West because I'm not overreacting to the Broncos. I'm not going to overreact to the Chargers either, but I'm going to still stay consistent. I don't think the Chiefs win the division.
Okay. I had them winning the division coming into the season, but I thought it was going to be, a tight race. Of course, we all thought the Broncos and the Chargers and a much, bigger outside shot, the Raiders. But it felt like it was within a game or two, right? Like it felt like Denver, if the Chiefs win 12 games, Denver's going to win 11, the Chargers going to win 10. It didn't feel like the Chiefs had this huge advantage over the rest of these teams. I think I'm overreacting to it. I think last year they were not a dominant regular season team, right? They were in one-score game after one-score game, and they were amazing in them because you have Mahomes and Andy Reid and Spags and Chris Jones and guys that have been in big games and big moments and are clutch and, just do the little things right that can flip a game when it's a one-score field goal, need a couple yards at the end of the half to get into field goal range, stuff like that. They're excellent at that situational stuff. But we have seen, and it's going against what I said previously, we see when you're in all these one-score games and you win a lot of games one year, it doesn't always repeat itself. And even though I said on the last episode, and I basically said throughout the season, it doesn't matter. It's the Chiefs and Mahomes. Even if they're a good one-possession team, right? Instead, what'd they go last year? Like 13-1 in one-possession games, was it? It was something crazy. Even if they're excellent and they go like 8-4, it's still a pretty huge drop-off. So I think the Chargers or the Broncos can finish above them. Their offensive situation right now is just ugly. That the weapons room is ugly. The running back room is ugly. They're going to need to make some sort of move to really make me believe in this team in terms of regular season dominance. Once the playoffs come along, I know how great they are in Mahomes is, so I'm not going to say they're not a Super Bowl contender or anything like this, but they could take a step back in the regular season, so I'll overreact.
I think I'm going to be still in on the Chiefs winning division. I don't think either the Chargers or Denver really moved me in week one. I do think this division could produce through playoff teams. I think the Chiefs, they have a lot of issues on offense. I do think they have some issues on defense that you saw in that game where they couldn't get pressure. They have struggles in cornerback 2, cornerback 3 room. I think the offensive line on the tackle spots is still a little troubling. But with the Chargers, I still think watching that game, I wasn't too impressed by their defense. I'm still very questionable about that wide receiver room. I still think, what are we going to get from Keenan Allen for a full season at this age? QJ, what are we going to get from him for a season at this point in his career? And then with the Raiders, that offensive line was getting broken. I think when they played the Patriots, Geno Smith played a phenomenal game, and I'm probably going to talk about him later in the show. He played an excellent game. He was able to throw anticipation. He made some timely throws. He made some clutch throws. He also was getting hit in that pocket, and I think that pocket was collapsing a lot. And I think this Raiders team on defense, I feel like if the Patriots had a little bit more offense, they would have been able to throw the ball at a much higher rate on that Raiders defense. So I think the Raiders still have some questions. And then Denver, that offense looked troubling in that week one. Granted, the Titans are a good defense. I don't want to disregard how good they are defensively. They have some talent. But I just think nobody from this division really showed me that there's a clear gap in anybody. So I'm going to go with what I've seen in history. So I think the Chiefs still win the division.
I mean, I'm in on it. You talk about the one-score games, but that's how they win. They know how to win. There's no other team that knows how to win more than them outside of the Philadelphia Eagles, especially in those situations. They pull those games out, whether it's in the regular season or in the playoffs. We thought that maybe in the playoffs they regress a little bit.
They didn't do it Friday.
They beat the Texans one-score game, and then they beat the Buffalo Bills in a one-score game in the playoffs as well. I think that what we saw versus the Chargers, we saw a team that's game planned was heavily focused on a receiver that they lost very early in the game, and they had to scrap up other things to try to make it work, and Mahomes almost did make it work. We were here last episode and we went over their schedule, the next 5 games of it. It is tough. I think they're going to play the Eagles without Jalen Carter. I don't think that Jalen Carter is going to
You're hoping.
play in that game.
Like,
I just
keep
think
saying-
no. I just think that he spit on somebody and he's going to get suspended for it. That's what I
You
think.
you told us Rasheed Rice wasn't gonna get suspended. Like, your suspension rate is not high.
You
bro.
dropped him in fantasy. That's
You
why.
told
But
us
he's
Rasheed-
coming back after week 6, though.
Yeah, but you said he's not gonna miss a game, bro.
No, I said best case scenario. I never gave the take.
No, you
He was
looked at
gonna
us, you was
miss
like,
a
bro,
game.
I
He
don't
wasn't
think
gonna miss a
Rasheed
game.
Rice is gonna
Best
miss
case
a game.
scenario for Jalen Carter doesn't get suspended.
Yeah,
like,
potentially, but I
I
think
don't think he
Jalen
is.
Carter is going to get suspended at least one game for spitting on Dak Prescott. Regardless if Dak he spit on the ground and he enticed them to then
I hope not.
get
Shit.
spit on. At the end of the day, there is a difference between spitting on the ground and then getting spit on and directly doing it. There's still a punishment for that. So I think he'll get suspended at least for one game. And then you look at the rest of their schedule. The Lions, based on how they got dominated and dismantled by the Packers, that's not looking like a gargantuan game that the Chiefs can't win now. Sure. They can beat the Jaguars. They can beat the Giants. And then you have the Ravens. And we just saw the Ravens defense not play really well in the final 4 minutes against Josh Allen and the Bills. And I do think that the Chiefs and the Ravens, even if you favor the Ravens in that game, the Chiefs can win that game. It's not like they
every
cannot.
game you just mentioned.
Exactly.
They can lose them
Even
games, too,
against
though.
the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm
still
looking
like
at every game that they have. I
Reaching
think that they go 4-2 in
Flagrant
arguably the toughest stretch they have of their season. And then I think they win a division.
They go 4-2. If they go 1-5,
But they won't.
If they go,
The
if they
Jets will though. They'll go 1-5.
Not
the Chiefs.
There he goes.
Yeah.
He just said he was going to be nicer. That being said, 4-2 would be awesome if you're
That
a
would be
Chiefs
best
fan.
case scenario,
I
actually.
agree with that. I look at the Ravens game, and we'll talk about that game a little bit later because it was
Yes,
electric.
we will. Yes, we will.
I think the Ravens are more talented
So
top to
Lamar did?
bottom.
I'm good.
They just don't. They're not going to be going up against the Buffalo Bills offensive line. The Chiefs offensive line's not Buffalo's. I still would favor Baltimore in that matchup. But you're right. They could beat the Jaguars. They could beat the Giants. They could beat the Lions for sure, especially after the showing that we saw versus the Packers. It's just they don't look good. The talent on the team right now is not what we're used to seeing. The secondary is weak. The weapons are weak. The run game's weak. The
the run
offensive
game is
line
not
we
gonna be
gotta
there
see.
all year.
You're right, but the thing you have that's saving face, it's a great face saver, is
guy.
15.
Everything you
Fixes
mentioned
everything.
is what they had last year. They won 15 games.
Agreed.
yeah, just can do it
Agreed.
again. Like even winning 15 games in the regular season is nuts. No matter if you have Mahomes, Brady, you don't
They could
consistently
win
win
12
15 games.
and still win the division.
But
Yeah.
They
Kelsey
could win
was
12 and come in second.
true.
They could win
Kelsey
11
was
and still
a
win the
year
division.
younger. You had Joe Tooney on that
you're
offensive
older.
line as well.
Saying last
No,
year.
he's last
Oh,
year.
yeah, yeah.
You had Joe Tooney on that
He
offensive
didn't look good
line.
last year.
Xavier Worthy broke out in the second half of the season. You lost Watson second half of the season, was a bummer, but in the beginning of the season, that's when the secondary looked its best when
They
he
have
was
him now,
healthy.
though.
That's true, and even still, I didn't love what I saw.
They also
I
couldn't
just-
really get any pressure when they were rushing forward. Like they had to send pressure to get to Herbert.
I mean, they had to, but that's what they do. And that's what they've been dealing with for the last 2 years. And he won a Super Bowl that same way, not being able to generate pressure with the top teams in the league. Outside of Chris Jones, he's been their only guy on defense.
Karlaftis
that can
didn't
generate
play a
pressure.
bad game versus the Chargers, in my opinion.
Karlaftis, he's all right. He's he's a solid player. But overall, no, I'm in on the Chiefs.
They're
to
due
win the
for a
division.
regression, man.
They are due.
I'm just praying to the good Lord they don't win the division. I'm praying.
We know why you're praying.
I'm over it. I'm really sick and tired of it.
Next statement is John Harbaugh holding back the Ravens.
This one's tough.
It's so weird to look at him and point the finger at him for the reason they lost. Derrick Henry fumbled the ball.
Brutal.
4th and 2.
Apparently Lamar had a hand.
He was cramping.
Yeah.
Allegedly, he was cramping. It's unfortunate the defense could not stop a top 2, maybe the best in the game in Josh Allen. Like, yes, you would ideally like to have gotten one stop. You gave up over 40 points. Not ideal. Your defense is way more talented than what it put forward. But you also went up against the MVP of the league. It happens. I'm not pointing the finger at John as to the reason they lost the game. That is a strong overreaction. They lost because their 2 best players, one made a mistake and fumbled, and the second wasn't physically able to be out there on the 4th down. Now, albeit, you are Lamar Jackson. If a fan came to me and said, yo, fight through it, I can hear where they're coming from. Game's on the line. You can win the game. It's one play, and then you take knees and it's over. I can hear that. But it was a situation you were up 40-25. You should not have lost the game. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Ravens had a 99.1% chance to win the
0.9.
game.
No, because
0.1.
Buffalo had a 0.9% chance to win.
There was a 99.9% chance for them to win at one point.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Did I?
We're both
Either
correct.
or.
Okay.
We're both
99%
The
chance
Ravens
to win.
should have won the
Yes,
game. It
yes,
was a
yes.
99% chance they should have won the game.
5 minutes left.
And
Nuts.
Josh Allen happened. 17 happened. He went to a different universe. He threw for over 250 in the fourth quarter. He had 2 rushing touchdowns in the fourth quarter. A crazy tipped in the air touchdown to Keon Coleman, who had a great game in his own right. I'm not blaming John Harbaugh for this. I'm not blaming John Harbaugh for all their past failures either. I don't know why he continuously gets blamed because what? He's a special teams coordinator. That's his special trait that he has. Like how obviously you have the offensive minds like Ben Johnson and the Brian Flores are defensive minds. Because he's a special teams, you think that you want someone who'd come in and be a defensive guy or an offensive guy. Relax. He's had an insane amount of success. He's one of the guys that knows how to galvanize his team the best. You lost because you got outperformed by a superhuman quarterback. It happens.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, Riv.
This-
My bad, bro. You guys right here.
he's ready. That's a bad season. That's a down year.
That is
Look
a
at
down
that.
year.
That's a down year.
I think this isn't the first time it's come up, right? Like,
No.
Ravens fans have been saying it for really multiple years now that he should be fired, that they should move on. I think I agree with Drew, though. I think it is an overreaction because I don't know how you really blame John in this case, right? You're up 40-25, like we mentioned, with 4.5 minutes to go, and you have the Bills 4th down in the red zone. Get a stop, the game's over. You have another opportunity where it's 4th and short. You have an offense that's been humming all game, whether it's passing or running the ball. You play conservative and you punt the ball. I think that's the one area you can look at, John, and be like, this is probably your choice, right? I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 99% sure that is his choice at the end of the day. Do we go for it or not? If Lamar's cramping, let's call a timeout. Because I do not want to put the ball in Josh Allen's hands to win the game.
I agree.
If it so happens that we don't get the 4th down, right? Then the Bills have the ball on our 30 or 40 yard line. You still need to hold them, right? You still have those timeouts. You still need to hold them to at least 3. The worst case scenario happened though. You punted the ball back, they killed the clock, kneeled it, and then kicked a field goal. So you had no chance to come back if they didn't have the shoestring tackle at the
Jair
end
should let him score.
Exactly. The shoestring tackle by Jair lets Coleman goes down at the 5 or 10 yard line, whatever. If you would have scored a touchdown, you would have had at least some time, even though it would have been a long shot. You would have had a chance to go down and score. It was just, Josh Allen happened. Like you said, Drew, Josh Allen happened. He had an all-time performance in the fourth quarter. He did more in the fourth quarter than 90% of the quarterbacks in the league did their entire week one game.
He had a whole game in a quarter.
So I think he gets blamed because, like Drew mentioned, he doesn't really have a side of the ball, right? Like, he is not an offensive-minded coach or defensive-minded coach. So when these things kind of merge where, like, you know what, Derrick Henry fumbled. I thought in the second half they got away from Derrick Henry too.
I agree with that.
Second quarter, Derrick Henry had 100 rushing yards. And then the third quarter, it was a lot of Justice Hill. They were getting into some more passing down situations is when Hill comes on onto the field. But Derrick Henry was just doing whatever he wanted. And I know they were committing more to the box, the Bills were, to try to slow down the rushing attack. But man, it just felt like offensively they lost their identity bit in the second half. I feel like that's more on Todd Monken than it is on John.
I'm sorry, Riv, to add one more thing to that. The passing game was being successful as well.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers had an awesome game. D-Hop makes what could already be catch of the year. Him and Isaac Tesla are going to be battling for that already. The passing attack was working. You had 2 drives the whole game. It just unfortunately had to be the last 2 drives of the game that cost you.
Yeah.
In fourth quarters since 2019, Baltimore's defense has the 5th worst passer rating allowed, 6th worst EPA per pass, and the highest explosive pass rate allowed.
Tough look.
Jeez.
And that's across multiple different DCs.
Yeah.
That's across multiple, obviously, different personnel.
I'll say this. I'm in on it, not because John is a bad coach. That's John, right?
Yeah.
I said it's John. Okay, not because John is a bad coach. I don't think he's a bad coach by any means. I think, Drew, a lot of what you said is correct. I do think just because he does, I think he's a really good decision maker. I think at times, this team does fumble a lot in those moments. I think a lot of it is because they let their foot off the gas. I think that's the issue. In the first half, you saw this team, kind of be dominant in the run game, kind of feed off the play action. Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, the connection was there. You saw Derrick Henry break off run after run. There was really nothing Buffalo can do but hope and pray they get a turnover. And that's how they were winning games last year with this defense, just getting turnovers, and hopefully that works. And then in the second half, it felt to me like they were a little bit complacent. They were a little bit too relaxed, and I felt like going into that second half, you should have kept your foot on the pedal. You should have put boot on neck and really dominate them. I say I'm in because I think you hit a point in your franchise where, you know, you have that coach that brings you to a certain point and you need an elevator. Like, you know, how, you know, the Golden State had Mark Jackson, but they needed that Steve Kerr to make that next leap, you know, and I think Baltimore is kind of at that point where we've seen this team be dubbed the most talented roster in football, maybe the last 3 seasons. And it feels like every year it becomes, all right, this is the most talented team. Lamar continues to get better. They get Derrick Henry, what was that, 2 years ago? Mm-hmm. They got Jair last year in the offseason. They picked up Roquan Smith, I think that was like 3 years ago in a trade. You know, they just, and then in the draft, they got Mike Green. They got Malachi Starks.
Nate Wiggins.
You know, Nate Wiggins. They start drafting really good players. Matabuke turned into one of the best D tackles in football. You know, this team continues to, Kyle Hamilton they got in the draft, and he became the best safety in football. So this team drafts well, for the most part on the defensive side. This team has Lamar, who elevates his game, brings in Derrick Henry, who doesn't seem to age. And it just feels like they're dubbed, like how Chicago wins the offseason every year. It feels like the Ravens win we're the best team in the league. We're the most talented team. I think I'm in because I do think at some point, you kind of just need a different guy to come in and just be a different elevator.
Have they missed on a draft pick? Like, I'm really trying to think about it. Lamar Jackson was the last pick in the first round. Zay Flowers was a good first-round draft pick. Rashad Bateman, maybe a little bit underwhelming for being a first-round draft pick, but we know as a podcast, he is a talented football player. The offensive line, Linderbaum is one of the best centers in football. Rosengarten is a solid right tackle as well. Staley is a great left tackle, maybe not the player that he once was. This is a team that has historically drafted very, very well. It's situationally down the stretch of these games. Maybe that's where I can compromise and hear out some of these fans where that's where you need to be at your best, and sometimes the Ravens aren't. For majority, we see this team be dominant year in, year out. And a week 1 loss when a guy goes superhuman, I can't overreact.
I think it's over for Harbaugh if he doesn't win this year. I think he's going to get... I don't know if they're going to go as far to fire him, but I feel like it's something you got to seriously consider, because how many times have we sat here and said that the Ravens have the most talented roster in the AFC? How many times have people picked against the Chiefs in an AFC Championship game with the Baltimore Ravens, and then they end up losing? I'm looking at one guy right here. Yeah, it's happened before. And at this point, you know, this is 3 years in a row where the Ravens, you can say that's the off-season pick to represent the AFC, because you look at their roster compared to Buffalo, compared to Kansas City, and you say that's a better roster top to bottom. And Lamar Jackson has played well in the playoffs over those last 2 years. When you look at the facts of John Harbaugh,
I'm surprised.
I did not see that.
I mean, he hasn't played better than Josh Allen or Mahomes, but Lamar has played well. Yes.
Hey, easy.
Sorry.
Right.
Lamar has played well, but he hasn't played better than those two guys. He didn't outplay Mahomes in the AFC Championship game.
My bad.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. In the AFC Championship, did he outplay Mahomes? No, he did not. He did.
Fumbles, you know.
He didn't outplay him. He didn't.
Leave Josh out of this.
I'm looking at the Ravens, and I'm looking at John Harbaugh. He has the most blown double-digit leads since 1991 for a head coach.
Doc Rivers, bro.
And over the last 10 years, he has the most double-digit blown leads in the fourth quarter. Number 2 is Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan,
you could argue is worse.
Kyle Shanahan is a little bit different, because I think 2019 Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't have one of the worst games of the season. They could beat the Chiefs in that game. And also Mahomes just made some spectacular throws along with Tyreek Hill.
The Eagles just traded for Tank Bigsby.
That's a really good move for them.
Who? Tank Bigsby. That means ETN's by himself. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
ETN to the moon.
That means Bates with Tuin is going to have a role on the team.
That's
probably the Will Shipley role.
Tuin?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Tank.
Oh, no.
I thought you said Tank.
He'll probably have a bigger role, I think, than that, but that's
Lord have
he
mercy.
wasn't playing much with the Jaguars anyway. Week 1, they didn't use him much.
Well,
that makes sense.
That's unfortunate that news broke right now, because that was going to be a player. I was going to talk about Travis Etienne today because he deserved it.
He did play really well. So I'm looking at John Harbaugh. He has all these blown leads with Kyle Shanahan. I feel like what saves him is that he has one side of the ball figured out. But I think even Niners fans are getting a little bit fed up with all the injuries on the team, with the undisciplined play of the team. Jake Moody is 12 for 23 on his field goals since week 10 of last season. The special teams looks like it's still a disaster again. And that's everything a head coach has to oversee. With John Harbaugh, he doesn't excel at one side of the ball. The defense, since Mike Macdonald left to Seattle, has dropped off. With Mike Macdonald, this was a historic level defense. This was a defense that was first in DVOA. If you measure every defense since 2000, the 2023 Ravens are near the top, if not number one, in terms of DVOA. That's how historic they were. And when you don't have a coach that excels at either side of the ball, yes, you oversee game plans, but everything you're talking about, the offense going away from Derrick Henry, the defense playing a certain way, I mean, that's all on John Harbaugh's watch. When you're the head coach, you have complete control of the team and you have to oversee what goes on. In 2023 in the AFC Championship game, they did not run the ball against Kansas City. That was something that you look to and say you have Derrick Henry and you're not utilizing a run against, at that point, a weak Chiefs run defense. All of that is under John Harbaugh's watch. And you have an all-time quarterback right now on your hands with Lamar Jackson. You have a great and talented roster. If John Harbaugh doesn't get it done, I don't see why the Ravens keep prolonging this. You got to bring somebody in. That's it. You got to bring somebody in that you think could be better and that can elevate the team. And maybe even after 2023, they should have made the tough decision and say, let's make Mike Macdonald the head coach. Because Mike Macdonald would have been a great successor to John Harbaugh, and that defense would have still ranked towards the top to this day.
I think Brock Purdy might not play on Sunday.
Yeah, I did see that. I think that's a perfect statement.
It's the Saints.
Because when I think about what the Ravens need to be more disciplined on is their defense. And the year that they were, to at least you and I, the favorites in the AFC, the best attribute of theirs, yes, of course, Lamar was MVP that season, but the defense was by far the best in the league, one of the best we've seen in a while. That being said, you had a perfect successor. You needed a guy that has the defensive mindset. Now you go and look at Seattle. The performance that they just had versus the Niners was excellent. McCaffrey was definitely effective in the passing game, but he averaged less than 4 yards a carry on the ground. They did a great job of limiting him. McDonald, we understand, is defensive genius. We look at Monken and think, there is nothing wrong with the offense right now. We have nothing to fix. We have one of the best running backs in the game. We have a top 3, top 2 quarterback in the league in Lamar Jackson. Our weapons are not the greatest.
They're good enough.
Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman, when Isaiah Likely's healthy, our offensive line's really great. We have nothing to worry about the offense. It's, can the defense bear down in a situation when we need it to? I think that's a great statement.
It's just you have to have, like, it. The grass isn't always greener, right? Like, you have such a safe baseline right now. That's
true.
basically like the last couple of years, you're at least winning a playoff game. And of course, when you're the Ravens and you're first seeing MVP and whatnot, it's more than just winning a playoff game, but it's to a lesser extent. But Steelers fans asking for Mike Tomlin to be fired, I think that might be more valid because they're flaming out in the first round and there's really no consistency on the offensive side of the ball. But it's so easy for these fan bases to be like, fire Tomlin, fire John. There is probably 20 fan bases that would fire their head coach right now to hire one of those guys.
100%.
So part of it is you do need new blood sometimes to really get over the hump, but you better be sure that the guy you're bringing in is at a minimum going to do what you have been doing for John, basically since he's gotten Baltimore.
That's a fact.
You don't feel like Mike Tomlin with Lamar Jackson would have won a Super Bowl already?
I don't know.
Mike
think
Tomlin
Tomlin's
is a defensive guy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but the Steelers fans also want Mike Tomlin fired.
And I was gonna say, is there a for sure thing that Monken comes into the building? For how many years did Todd Haley have a job, and we all thought that
Matt
made
Canada.
But
no
I just
sense?
say that because I
Facts,
think
Matt Canada.
Tomlin being able to win with the Steelers is more impressive than John Harbaugh winning with the Ravens because you have Lamar Jackson. The Steelers roster, we go into seasons every year saying this is underwhelming, and they still are able to win games.
Yeah,
if
I get
Mike
what you
Tomlin
mean.
had a quarterback, I think that we could see them have playoff success, especially when we're talking about a top 3 quarterback
They
in the
had
league.
Ben. They had the killer bees.
The defense was bad, though. in some
It
of
was
those years.
horrible, which is why Steelers fans were having an aneurysm with Tomlin. How is it that you're this defensive mind? We have an all-time trio, and we cannot do anything on the defensive side of the ball. That's where I can understand where fans are coming from. But post-Ben, the fact they haven't had a losing record one time,
Yeah.
and their quarterback play has been as bad as it is. I won't go through the list. You guys know how terrible it's been. What he's done has been nothing short of impressive.
Next statement. Dell's going to like this one. Justin Fields is going to break out with the New York Jets.
He's great. So what does break out? Like he's
Best season yet.
Oh yeah, I'm down. I think he could definitely have his best season.
This was his best game I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was awesome. I think the only like question or pause I would have is like, is this like the franchise quarterback for the Jets? I can't do that after one game, but I think what you saw from Tanner Eggstrand was, I think, really positive, right? I don't know if we actually do we have a Jets topic in here? Do we have a Rodgers topic? I can't remember now.
Rodgers topic.
Yeah, because I mean, the last few years for the Jets, just offensive coordinator wise, I mean, it's been a bit of a mess, right? It's been Nathaniel Hackett for the last couple of seasons. Part of that was due to Aaron Rodgers, and we saw how poorly that went over. So when you bring over an offensive mind from Detroit, of course, everyone makes the Ben Johnson comps, and that's what you're hopeful for. I'm not saying Engstrand is going to be Ben Johnson by any means, but I think what you saw in that first game is everything that this Jets coaching staff has been preaching since basically day one that they got there, right? Like, it's going to be a team that is going to be running the ball effectively, that's going to really be on the back of that offensive line that had a really good game against a talented Steelers defensive front. And you're going to have moments where Justin Fields can make some explosive plays like we saw. Do I expect them to score 32, 34 points every single week? No, probably not. But what makes me most excited for this Jets offense and for Justin Fields is how good Breece Hall looked. Like, Breece Hall looked like the version of Breece Hall we saw a few years ago. We're like, holy shit, this is one of the best running backs in the NFL. Like, it was, I know his stat line was solid. It was like over 100 yards, 5-6 a carry. But when you watched him play, he was shifty. He looked fast. He looked explosive. So if you're getting that version of Breece Hall and you're pairing it with Justin Fields on an offensive line that dominated the day against the Steelers, it could be an offense that's competent. And for Justin Fields, it's been, his career's been a mess so far, right? Like, you get drafted to the Bears, they go through different head coaches, different coordinators, you have offensive line issues, you have all of these issues. And of course, the Jets offense is far from perfect, but through one game, it's an offensive line that you feel really good about. It's a run game you feel really good about. And through one game, it's an offensive coordinator you feel good about.
Now, it was like 3 days before the season started, and I texted our group chat with our fantasy league that we have, and I texted the guy who has Breece Hall, and I said, shout out to Frank. I said, upon reflection, I love the Breece Hall pick. I have nothing against it. I think it was an excellent move. The Jets offensive line is going to be great. It was supposed to be great. And you have a run-first mindset with Justin Fields and Breece Hall. And in week one, we saw Breece Hall be one of the stars of the weekend. He was excellent. Now, the topic's about Justin Fields. Do I think he's going to have a breakout year? Behind this offensive line, against what was supposed to be one of the most impressive defenses in the league in the Pittsburgh Steelers, even still, they made some big-time timely plays. Justin looked maybe the best I ever seen him as a complete player at the quarterback position. We've known that he can scramble. That's an obvious positive of his. What impressed me the most was the throws that he was making, the connection that him and Garrett had. I think Garrett got targeted on 40% of his throws, which was insane, one of the highest on the weekend, but that was to be anticipated. You guys don't have a wide receiver too. I had to shift my eyes to you guys. You guys don't have a wide receiver too. You knew Garrett Wilson was going to be the guy, but I thought Justin made timely play after timely play, was very smart, knew when to keep the ball, knew when to take the ball down and run. He was excellent. If he plays like this the rest of the season, 100%, but why I feel confident, he did it against one of the best defenses, at least what I thought I was predicting to see. So I'm moved. I think Justin Fields does have his best year.
I mean, number one EPA per dropback right now, 0 off-target throws.
Garrett was a top 3 in target share.
Yeah.
No, he was elite.
There's nobody else that they could really.
They called me crazy for that. Interesting.
There's nobody else that could really catch the ball on that offense.
Being a GW fan, they called me crazy this year.
This is what I'll say about the Jets.
Oh, God.
The culture that they're setting with Aaron Glenn, I think they're on the right path. The defense got torched, and that's an area that you think that should be good under Aaron Glenn. But I think what cost them the game was the muff punt and then the Brandon Stevens defensive pass interference. That is what really cost them the game. And Aaron Glenn, although he was up in the presser and he said, I don't do moral victories, I think this is a moral victory for the Jets.
I just don't like the way
Justin
that he's
Fields.
so
Justin Fields playing well is a moral victory for the Jets because this is the quarterback that the new regime said we're going to give a 2-year contract to, and he's going to be our guy for the next 2 years because we believe there is some untapped potential there. And I think the most important part of it all is that they're empowering him to play like himself because in Chicago, they were trying to make him a pocket passer. We saw when he rushed for 1,000 yards in the season. He looked really damn good. And we thought that he could build upon that. He was even getting some MVP buzz before the next season. In that offseason, he was. But then they wanted to turn him into something he wasn't. Then he goes to Pittsburgh, and the Steelers have such a great defense that they're telling Justin Fields, don't take sacks, be safe with the ball. So they're restricting how he plays the game because they don't want to lose the game. With the Jets right now, there is nothing to lose. Aaron Glenn is telling him, and the OC is telling him to play like himself, to be a runner, to utilize his best abilities. So I think he is going to break out with the Jets. I think this is going to be Justin Fields' best season yet this year. This is going to be his best season, without a doubt.
You know what also, though?
We're all in.
It was a nice statement for him to show that the Jets should have took him in the first place.
I've been saying that for how long?
That was a great statement for him to say you took the wrong quarterback on draft day. Statement was made day one.
Joel, you tell me when he did the touchdown, the boot that came around, he started doing the jet. That shit wasn't hard.
It was cool. I think that the Jets going to be fun this year.
Now, what blew my mind was how the all caps every time Aaron Rodgers did something.
The voice memos.
That's how I was feeling.
Sending 5 voice memos over this Jets.
Now, I will say, first game of the season, I needed the opposing team to make a statement. But no, I think the Jets, they're going to be fun. And I think even if you don't believe in Justin Fields long term, the fact that Tanner Engstrand was able to have such a good game, I think you pretty much solidified that he's going to be a good play caller. And this is a Steelers defense that we thought was going to be really good coming into the season. Maybe they regress, or maybe the Jets offense is just this damn good. We don't know yet. It's week 1 right now, so we don't have enough information. But I think the fact that you got a quarterback that can run the offense, you got an OC that is empowering him and catering the entire offense to his skill set, I think that's something to be positive about.
I know you're in, Riv.
Yeah, we're all in. I think I was telling Drew this in the car. I have no goals. I have no. I'm excited to watch, and I think that's the thing. That was probably the first Jets game.
I wish I had that mindset, man.
It was
no
the first,
expectations.
It was the
just
first,
hope he plays well.
Yeah, her first fun Jets game I've seen in a while. Like, it was pretty exciting from start to finish. Probably one of the best games of the weekend. And I think Justin Fields just looked composed. He looked confident. There was a lot of zip on his throws, and on top of that, he was just accurate. And I think that's what you've been wanting to see from him. You know, him and Garrett do have that connection. They did talk about it in the offseason. The connection is real. Breece Hall, you love to see him look really good. I would say the defense is the one thing where you thought it'd be a little bit better. You know, you had talented guys like QW, who I thought looked good. Sauce looked good. But for the most part, got to get that defense back to its identity. But I think this game really speaks more on the Steelers, which we'll probably talk about later. But gotta like what you see. Like you mentioned, first game, debut game. Fields put it on the line. You know, you talk about Aaron Rodgers having a great game. Well, Fields was like,
Fields was better.
I'm here.
Hold my beer. Fields wasn't better.
Yeah, he was.
It was close.
Look at the numbers. Aaron Rodgers, these little 50-yard screen passes, wide open touchdowns.
Aaron got lucky a few times.
Fields was bop, bop, bop.
You're right. He had to do more. I agree with you. However, he was timely.
Yeah, no,
As a Packers fan, Fields was better.
That's a Packers fan.
I will say it was the most Jets ending ever.
The fucking
tip catch was insane, and then a 60-yarder to lose it.
With 60-yarder to Boswell, I was not surprised. I'll be honest with you.
60 is 60.
He's amazing.
Boswell is maybe the best kicker in the NFL.
He was the number 1 fantasy
like, shout out to
kicker.
Brandon.
Yeah.
He's a dog. Boswell might be the best.
I don't hate it, but 60 still was.
60 is
you hit
nuts,
60
bro.
in the clutch. That's what it is.
And
you
then
hit
the game
60 on move, but you hit 60 in the clutch. That's insane.
Buzz is nuts. You know, Justin Fields this past week had the highest EPA per dropback since what game for the New York Jets?
Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Nope.
He don't
Zach
know.
Wilson versus the Titans?
Nope.
That would have been amazing.
Mark Sanchez.
Better.
Mark Sanchez. No, come on.
Better.
What?
You said Zach Wilson.
Mike White.
Mike White.
Worse.
Yeah. His EPA per dropback was
company.
higher than any game Aaron Rodgers ever had and any game Zach Wilson ever had, which isn't saying much.
Say the first name first.
Oh,
again. Say it.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron who?
Aaron Rodgers.
The
Interesting.
Mike White thing
When
is
you
not
said
good
better,
company.
I knew it. Immediately I said, this guy's talking about Mike White.
Mike White. I mean, what a time, man.
What a legend.
He's a legend. They
What
were in
a
fucking
time.
Mike White t-shirts, man. That's awesome.
Then he lost every game after that.
He got hurt.
He got hurt. Zach
He did
lost
get
the
hurt.
last few.
And then he went to the Dolphins and was a backup and then was like nothing.
I
I
wonder if
guess.
he's still in the league.
Yeah.
Hey, practice squad.
I love those comments when people, before they like comment on a statement, they say, as a blank fan, this is what I think.
I love those though, because they're trying to show I'm being objective. But also there's situations where They are fans
Well,
of the team.
I didn't know which side this was coming from.
I didn't know either, but
like Rodgers, like Fields, obviously a Chicago Bear. He doesn't like Fields, but the Rodgers and Green Bay kind of had a weird relationship. I don't know if it was like I was supposed to take that positive or negative. As
he's a legendary Packers player.
Is,
you have
absolutely.
to every Packers fan has to respect Aaron
Is he the
Rodgers.
best Packer of all time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
number one.
He's
for
number
sure.
one.
Yeah. I had to watch an Aaron Rodgers documentary.
You didn't have to.
I did. I was interested.
What do you think?
Netflix one?
Reggie White or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah. Reggie White didn't play most of his career there.
True.
Yeah, that's
Fair.
why I would go Aaron. But and also Aaron's just Aaron.
Aaron's Aaron.
Next statement.
Yeah, this one's gonna hurt.
Dolphins will replace Tua after
It shouldn't hurt
this
because
season.
I'm looking at his dead cap, and there's just no way.
No, there is no way.
Yeah,
They
there's
literally cannot
How
move
much is
on
it?
from him.
If this year would be 137, next year 99 million.
Well, it depends. The Broncos move on from Russell Wilson.
They ate what, 80 was it?
They ate a lot of money.
We ate 80,
Brother,
which was a lot.
Hundreds
this is
a
damn
lot.
near 100.
Hundreds like damn near half the cap, bro.
I really want to be careful with what I say in this.
They have a
segment.
potential out 2027. The dead cap drops to 34.
Okay.
That's so much more manageable.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'd wait.
I do want to say this, and I think that it's interesting because let me just make sure before I say what I want to say.
Is this a bit of overreaction from people who don't like Tua, Drew?
No,
Well, can we just
No, perfect.
acknowledge how
Got it.
bad of a contract that is
It's a tough
to
contract.
give him?
it's almost as bad as Trevor Lawrence, right?
No, 2-1 is worse.
I say this to say, the overreaction is Dolphin based, and though everybody's attention's on Tua, everyone wants to talk about how bad Tua was, but nobody wants to overreact to Daniel Jones. That's the real story
hell?
from this past weekend.
That's not the
We have a whole
overreaction.
topic on him.
But that's
do have a
but
topic.
where's the overreaction? There's no overreaction to Daniel Jones. Why?
You want to add a Daniel Jones?
There's a part of
overreaction?
me that wants to overreact
Well, let's
to Daniel
overreact
Jones.
to that Dolphins
Yeah,
front
some
seven.
Dolphins first.
Where's that at?
Again, like I said, a lot of the attention's going to Miami.
Be a great politician.
Yeah.
It's going
They had
towards
0
Tua.
points
It's
for a lot
going
of
to
the
Mike
game.
McDonald. Devon A. Chan saved legacies. Don't get me wrong.
Fourth
But
and
not
11
enough
screen pass.
attention's being brought to Daniel Jones, who a lot of people said was not worthy of being in the NFL, not a starting quarterback, wouldn't even win the quarterback battle to some
we
riff.
won those. We won those.
And he goes out there and
Better game
hasn't
than AR
done
ever
something
did.
since I don't think actually anybody in the NFL has ever done scoring every single drive, touchdown or field goal every drive. Peyton Manning, I don't even think did it either.
AR's never
He
done
played for the Colts.
And he played for the Colts too.
AR's
So
never
Daniel
done
Jones better than Payne.
We don't even have to talk about
that.
it.
AR's never done. Might never do it ever.
The Dolphins defensive line, like you mentioned, to all of us, not just me, to all of us, was supposed to dominate.
Yeah.
Supposed to be the best part of this defense by
Keep 'em in the game.
No shadow of a doubt. They did nothing. They got bullied. Daniel Jones looked incredible. The Colts as a whole looked incredible. That's what I want to
What's your
overreact
overreaction,
to.
man? I want answer.
Yeah, you didn't answer that.
Yeah, you did all out of hold the jumping
one?
around.
Tua.
Tua.
Oh,
back to
that
that.
one.
Yeah.
No, he's not gonna. You're not gonna move on from him.
Okay.
Very confidently, he will be their quarterback for the rest of the season. He will be their quarterback for. I want to say he has 3 years remaining on his contract for at least 2.
4.
Oh, okay. So I still stand with what I said. At least 2.
Not 3.
This performance by far was his worst game I've ever watched. This was putrid. He was one of the least pressured quarterbacks in all of the National Football League. The only one who was pressured less was Trevor Lawrence. That name's going to come up later. Against the Carolina Panthers, who have 0 pass rush. There was nothing that they could do to get to Trevor Lawrence. Still didn't have a good game. But Tua
Yeah.
was genuinely horrendous. Throws that he normally makes, the first INT, that's a throw that I've seen
That
Tua.
shit
That's his
fried
bread and butter.
meat. Shit went right over.
That is what actually got him the contract that he got. Those throws right there sails it. I live with that because, again, he usually hits that. It's the second INT and the fumble after that, too. The second INT is horrendous, like one of the worst INTs he's ever had. Just staring down the Indianapolis defender and throws it right to him. There's 0 defending. There's nothing I can even make up in my brain. And I've done it so many times to try and defend him. This one is simply the worst of them all. You were favored to win this game. The Colts are a solid team. They aren't a great team. They definitely aren't a 30-0 good type of team to go ahead and embarrass you the way that they did. Tua should not have gone out as sorry as he did. Again, this was the worst performance that he's had. However, no, I'm not going to overreact. It's week 1. You're allowed to be dog shit. You're allowed. I saw some dog shit quarterback play this week. He was the worst by far. But yes, he will be their quarterback for the remainder of this year and next.
You know,
Who
I'm
the Dolphins
going-
play next week?
They play.
Play Patriots. Oh, that'll be interesting.
The who? Patriots?
Ooh, they was
got
getting
two
to, they was
ass
getting to
teams
Gino.
right now.
They was getting to Gino.
No, I cannot wait for the awards.
They were getting to Gino.
They were
Harold
getting to
Landry
I
was
cannot
amazing.
wait
Yeah.
for the
I
awards.
think I'm with you, Drew. I think he'll still be there next year. I'm just looking at just from a contractual dead cap situation.
There's
it
no
just
way they can
doesn't
move
make
on.
sense to cut him, especially if you don't have a valuable answer at the quarterback position to replace him. You know, I'm very big on don't replace a guy if you don't have anything else. You know, I think for this Miami Dolphin teams, you have a lot of things you need to clean up before you clean up the quarterback position. And I think, like you talked about it before, you just talked about it. The front seven was supposed to be the dominant part of this team. Like for better or for worse, this is supposed to be the thing. You got Chop Robinson, Bradley Chubb.
That's attribute
you know,
of both sides.
Like you were supposed to be Zach Zealer. You have guys on the line that can really make an impact, and they got punked that night. Like that day was just. We got punked. We got outworked. The Colts offensive line had a lot of push. You know, JT had some cool moments. Daniel Jones was out there dicing them up. And, of course, we knew the secondary had dead bodies out there. Like, they wasn't going to be this outstanding secondary. So you relied heavily on that Dolphins. No, for real. Like, you relied heavily on that Dolphins front seven to really get pressure, get home. And they didn't and left them out there to die. So I think, for me, I think Tua's still there. I think for the most part, like I mentioned, this dead cap is nuts. They don't really have another option. I think this team has a lot of work to do, but Tua will be their quarterback next year.
Can I also just add, I live for a time where the quarterbacks that I enjoy watching and rooting for, that they don't get evaluated game to game. I really live for that time.
Can't happen. Bro.
It has been so long since I've rooted for a player and it has not been a week to week evaluation of their play. Like, again, none of the players I root for are allowed to have a bad game. And again, I'm being honest. This was all time bad. This was bad. My guys this week were horrendous. And you guys let me know, and I appreciate all the comments, the mentions. It was a very interesting day.
Yeah, I took it out of the quad box real quick.
Yeah, it was gone.
And I think I told you today when we spoke, I said I watched way too much of that game yesterday. There was always that part of me like, now we turn it on. And then this is the drive.
That was a fan the menu.
I live when those guys don't get scrutinized every single week.
So how long has it been since you stopped enjoying watching Tua play?
I still enjoy watching Tua play. It's just I get a stomach ache every time he plays.
Okay.
Like,
There's so much on the line.
Every time
Fighting
he's
for his
on
life.
the field. We had this conversation about Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes. Who's the most hated quarterback in the league? And I think I'm with you. I think it is Mahomes because he's the guy who wins everything. People are tired of it. But I think actually the answer's Tua. When he is at his worst, the world is going to let you know he is the worst quarterback in the league.
Funny.
Why is he starting? This contract's the worst. He is absolutely lost. He's an injury. He's a hit away.
Picture of him, like,
exactly.
building the worst.
And that was funny. I laughed. It was a good meme. It was great. It was every trait of his. It was good. But man, when he's bad, the conversations are loud. When he's good, the only loud ones, which are few, are the fans of his.
VBS is locked.
He was going off
When
on
he's
oh my
nice,
God,
VBS
he was
is
killing me.
locked.
I
Like,
love VBS because VBS is actually a blind lover.
Yeah, he is.
and
Absolutely.
and that is how I live too.
Yeah, I needed to harass him.
That was hilarious, and I think yesterday was a more than acceptable time to go ahead
and he
and
loves
say
to
bad
target
things about
Herbert.
him.
Like he loves to
Such an
target
insane
Herbert.
person.
Yeah. He shouldn't have messed with the face of Chargers
I was
Twitter.
okay. Calm
You
down.
Chargers Twitter point at yourself with
the Packers.
With the Packers.
Even
yeah.
I never took that route, and I would text him. I'm like, "Yo, bro, you don't have to
Relax.
go this route. Like, just
goes.
keep it to it. You don't have to talk about
takes it
Herbert.
there.
It's levels. I get it. because
Josh
it's
Herbert,
five-
he goes. He doesn't.
It's just insane.
Josh
quarterbacks
is
to-
It's a
ridiculous.
division. It's a division.
I'm gonna reframe it in a way that to my liking.
Fuck,
The dead
okay.
cap, of course, it makes it hard for them to move on from him. But I think they should move on from him. I'm in on it. And I think it was a mistake giving him the contract that he got. I think that he is a limited quarterback. That is what it is. He's a system quarterback. He's a really good system quarterback. we got the quote from Xavier Howard saying that we know that after he moves on his first read, he starts to panic. And that's kind of been the story of Tua
I really hate
for a
him
long
that
time.
shit.
And Xavier Howard played with them until 2023.
years,
So
What a bastard.
he understands.
He definitely showed
And-
that. Pull some young thug
And I
shit
didn't
just now.
even think the Colts defense did anything
Take the
extraordinary
They
to
didn't.
rattle Tua.
They didn't
Tua
even get
just
after
played
him.
a bad game. And when you have a quarterback that is so up and down, and that also just doesn't play well against good defenses and competition in his career historically. He has some outliers. He does. But for the most part, that is not a quarterback that you pay that much money and use up that much percentage of your cap to lead you to a deep playoff run.
like
And
jerk off.
I just feel like I look at the contract numbers that you're telling me right now about the dead cap.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here thinking, why the hell would they give him this contract? Because not only has this play been volatile against good comp, but he also unfortunately has an injury history.
That's true.
Just with the injury history alone, the guarantees on that contract and the outs on that contract should have been flexible. You look at a quarterback like Brock Purdy with the 49ers, where yesterday he was pressured by Seattle all game long, and he had some bad moments in that
Game-winning
game.
drive, baby.
But he is aggressive and he makes plays that can uplift the offense, and he does it consistently. And I feel like that's the difference between a quarterback like him and a quarterback like Tua, and why it's more reasonable to give a quarterback like Brock Purdy that type of money instead of Tua. I think Tua just has too many limitations with his arm and with his mobility, not being able to make plays out of structure, that it's just hard to bank most of your cap percentage on that player to lead you. And they'll have flaws in the roster. I'm not going to say they don't, but I think that I feel confident saying as long as Tua is their quarterback, they're going to struggle to get over the hump.
The arm
regardless.
limitation conversation always bothers me. It always has. For as long as I've been here talking about Tua, it always bothers me. What's the arm limitation? The strength?
100%.
That's really what it is?
100%.
Okay,
He
there are
can't-
quarterbacks that don't have the strongest of arms.
but now they have stronger arms than Tua. I can rattle
also
off
better.
It's
25
I think
quarterbacks
it's the arm
that have
strength
better
and the
arms.
lack of mobility.
But I don't, the tight window throws, like Tua doesn't have tight window throws.
He can't throw outside the numbers consistently and efficiently.
He can
That
make
is
side
what
window
they take
throws, but
away.
it's always with anticipations, not with because he's zipping the ball in.
If
know?
you take away the middle of the field where that's where he likes to target and you force him to make throws outside the numbers, that ball dies past 15 to 20 yards. And that is why, defenses they'll give a little bit more space. They'll play inside leverage on wide receiver routes because they know that they feel like they can break on Tua's ball faster than other quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think Miami, I mean, everything included. This is Tua, this is Mike McDaniel, the defense. This is really everything. They look like the worst organization in football yesterday, right? Like this was beyond Tua and the offense. This was terrible because, yeah, maybe you said Daniel Jones has a Ryan Tannehill-esque career in Indianapolis. Maybe. It doesn't matter. He should not be scoring on every single goddamn drive, right?
More about
this is-
Miami, like as a whole than Tua. I agree.
this is beyond Tua because the offense was terrible, but I think what's scary about it is it's just a continuation of the bad vibes in the offseason, right? Like throughout the entire offseason, we were worried about, the injuries they had. We were questioning the secondary, all of the pieces that they lost in the offseason, the Tyreek Hill drama. It just felt like all of this stuff was just continuing in the offseason. Then you finally get to the games, like, listen, you go out there, and if it was reversed and they smoked the Colts, it would be all water on the bridge and be like, okay, there's not much of it. There was a report on NBC Sports like an hour ago, like, watch out Tyreek Hill trade to the Steelers or to the Chiefs. It's gonna happen sometime in the next couple of months. It's like week 1 just ended, and now we're still getting the same kind of off the field stuff that really doesn't matter. But Tua's gonna be on the team next year because he has to be on the team, right? I don't think any team is eating $100 million in dead cap. That doesn't stop them though from taking a quarterback in the first round, from signing like a real competent backup, not Zach Wilson, but like a real competent backup to maybe push to a little bit, because everyone go in and out. This is an overreaction. No way in hell Mike McDaniel's back next year, right? Like, I don't know if he's going to make it to Thanksgiving, but there's a really strong chance that you have a new head coach, who knows, maybe a new GM in there as well. So Tua's not going to be their guy. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're taking a quarterback on day 1 or day 2, or they're signing someone to give him some competition. But I don't think it's going to be free reign like it has been, right? It's not going to be, you're going to have no one at backup, Mike White, Zach Wilson, and you're just a starter franchise, no questions asked. So I think, to an extent, Joel's right. It's just been too inconsistent the contract, the number's just getting too inflated to justify it.
So I feel like what you mentioned was perfect. You know, he might be on a roster, but I think that they definitely need to find options for a quarterback in the offseason. And I wouldn't even be mad if they spent a first round pick on a quarterback. With the quarterbacks that are coming out in the draft this upcoming year, I think there's going to be some pretty good quarterback options.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they have to start finding the avenues because I feel like right now where the Dolphins are at, they're heading towards a rebuild. They're heading towards a complete teardown. And you better start it off sooner rather than later. Yeah. Maybe they wait on the quarterback just to build the roster up so when they have a quarterback, he's ready and he's not thrown into a bad situation. But I don't think it's just two. I think Mike McDaniel also is not going to be the head coach of the Dolphins after this year.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill has not had a 30-yard catch since week 1 of last year.
It's insane.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
Week 1 of last year, that is ridiculously terrible.
It's insane.
Next statement, Bo Nix will have a sophomore slump.
I can't believe we're ending the overreactions with me. Like, no, he will not have a sophomore slump. Yesterday was horrendous. Tua was dead last.
Bo Nix was 31st.
Bo Nix was second to last. He was so bad. The only one I'll say, and it's really me pushing it, the first INT that he threw, that was the 50-50 ball that the DB ended up making a play, and it was him and Sutton. I can live with it because he's being aggressive and he's throwing it to our number one. Cortland Sutton, at the minimum, caused an incompletion.
Yeah.
Like, you are stronger than that DB. There's no way you should have gotten bitched the way that you did. You are the best receiver on our team by a lot. You were the best offensive player we had yesterday by a decent amount. You, at the minimum, break that up. Nevertheless, Bo Nix had more plays than just that first throw, because he had a ball that could have been intercepted over the middle of the field. He had the terrible INT, his second one on the day. Again, just staring the defense through right to him. Latu also, to be fair, did break into coverage. I thought that was a nice play by Latu to get his first career INT. But again, it was a bad decision, bad play. He was pressing. He was trying to do too much. He was trying to be the best player on our team. And I can get that. It's opening day. You want to set the tone off right. But now, instead of setting the tone and everybody's excited, the Broncos are the big team, you got this goofy guy over here smirking from ear to ear. Now everybody's going ahead and saying, sophomore slump, we were right about you all along. You're really Mac Jones, but a little bit faster. You're the one that's going to be the CJ Stroud of this year. And I guess in a way that's a compliment, because CJ Stroud's incredible.
Don't compare Bo Nix to CJ Stroud.
Nevertheless, he was really bad. I do anticipate us to be better. We didn't run the ball not nearly as much as we should have. The success that we had on the ground does not justify the lack of the amount that we ran. JK was really good. I thought RJ in his limited attempts was really explosive. Obviously had that one breakaway run. We're going to run more. He's going to check less and trust the run, because he faced a ton of stacked boxes and he made the right decision. You see a stacked box, I'm Bo Nix, I'm checking out, and we're running a pass play. More often than not, kind of baited into what the Titans wanted to do. We were not successful. I think moving forward, this will be a great learning experience for him, and we will run the ball more. We will be more effective in that part, and it'll make the game a lot easier for him. This was a learning moment for him. You don't have to do too much. You should have known that off last season, where, albeit sometimes he did have to do a little bit more than he should have. But again, not every throw needs to be off platform. Not every throw needs to be one that makes it onto ESPN. Relax, trust the guys around you. You got a little bit more help this season. I think that yesterday's game is a huge lesson for him, and I'm not expecting a sophomore slump.
Maybe the Titans are just better than we thought. I think that defense is talented.
I agree with that.
And I think Tavondre Sweat is a superstar.
Awesome.
He's going to be one of the best defensive tackles in his league. They have a good defensive coordinator too. I think Denard Wilson has done an incredible job with the Tennessee Titans. And even last year, they got the first overall pick, but that defense was still an average unit. Mm-hmm. And I thought Cam Ward got let down a lot offensively. But
Calvin Ridley sold him a few.
I think about the earlier in the offseason when we had the Cam Ward Would You Rather, and the Bo Nix thing came up, and not Cam Ward. I mean, I think we saw yesterday why you would take a guy like that. He has some real arm talent. I just think my problem with Bo Nix is that when I watch him play, it gives me anxiety.
Me too.
I feel like he plays very anxious.
He does.
His footwork is all over the place. He bails pockets. I feel like he tries to throw off platform when he doesn't need to.
I don't disagree.
And a lot of those things I feel like people think are just easy fixes. Oh yeah, that's just like he could just fix that. And it's a lot of these things are not that easy. Especially pocket presence is something that is kind of innate. As a quarterback, you either have it or you don't. You can improve on it, but for the most part, how you go through progressions and how you are in that pocket is just something that you just have. It's just born in you when you play the quarterback position. And that's my concern with Bo Nix. I think that he was put in a really good situation last year. People will only point to the bad negative with the receivers, but it was an elite offensive line in the run. But you had elite play calling. You had a coach who constantly clicked on easy buttons for Bo Nix to hit, and there wasn't much of a difficult process for him to move down the field because of how the offense was manufactured. But now he's in the Bengals game. He played well. There are some outliers in there, but I think there is
outliers.
This wasn't the outlier. The Bengals game.
Marvin Mims throw against Cleveland. The crazy throws to Marvin Mims against the Cincinnati Bengals. The play to start the game to Troy Franklin. He has
Caleb
moments.
looks insane.
Does he? I'm happy to hear that. Honestly.
Caleb looks
Dude, I'll be
insane.
honest. After this article, I'm 100% rooting for him.
Yeah.
What kind of nonsense is that, man? You dropped that. I'm sorry. The game's on. Amazing throwing catch to Tom Madunze. That really did bother me. Right before the season starts, you're trying to get into Chicago's head. You're trying to get into his head and try and ruin the vibes of what's going on. When it was the first reported that he was the one that had issues, that he wasn't the one that he had issues with teammates going to watch film or coaches watching film with him. But now it's alleged he's the one that wasn't really watching film. He wasn't locking in. I know that's not the conversation, but that really did bother me.
Assassinate his character. I feel like he's doing good so far. We'll see how the game ends.
A lot of checkdowns.
But I just say that to say I'm rooting for him because that was nonsense.
Well, that was a 3rd and 5 on the run.
No, I'm talking about before that.
Yeah.
Like he's like right now he's just playing.
They're moving the ball.
Duncan, but I think let's talk about Bo Nix.
Oh, I didn't finish. Sorry.
Oh.
I'm in. I think he's gonna have a sophomore slump.
Okay.
We knew that.
That's the least surprising news to the show so
we
far.
you didn't have to.
But I do think
Outlier.
it almost feels like
I'm bugging. Like, how many throws last year did we see from Bo Nix?
Yeah,
You
for
knew
sure.
he was going to say that, though.
I think Bo's a good quarterback. I don't think, I also don't think it's crazy to take Cam Ward over him. Cam Ward's the number 1 overall pick. You know what I mean? Like, if Cam Ward was in that draft class after the year he had at Miami, he probably would have gone over Bo Nix too. I don't think that's insane to say. And Bo Nix, I think you could say he could have a sophomore slump statistically, right? He did have the second most passing touchdowns of all time for a rookie at 29. So, yeah, can he come down from that? Maybe he has like 25 or 26 and it's like, oh, sophomore slump. But I think the points you said, Joel, where he has an elite play caller, he has an elite offensive line. I think as long as you have those two things and you're not a complete bust at quarterback, like no disrespect, Zach Wilson level quarterback. I won't say any other names, but there's a couple names I'm thinking. But Zach Wilson level quarterback. As long as you're not that bad, I feel like it's really hard to fail, right? Like if you have Sean Payton, an offensive line, we're expecting to be top 3, top 4 unit in the league. I think Bo Nix has a really safe floor. On top of that, you saw some real explosiveness from the running game, right? Like you saw J.K. Dobbins have some moments. You saw R.J. However, he had some real moments, real moments. So at a minimum, the run game should be better from last season. Now, the wide receiver room, we knew going into the year, even though they added Evan Ingram, who got banged up in this game, we knew it's going to be, it's Courtland Sutton, and you're hoping and praying that Troy Franklin or Marvin Mims or one of these guys breaks out to be some sort of consistent piece in the offense, even though it's, it's a bit of a hopeful situation there. But I feel like Bo gives you a really safe floor week in and week out. He can move some with his legs. I do think he has a strong arm. He can make some off-platform throws. But his traits or touchdown, Caleb. Ooh, damn! They went right down the field.
No, that was elite.
Should we overreact to this first drive?
Whatever.
You said Bo Nix is better.
I'm gonna be honest. I hate more than anything the Drake May, Caleb Williams fans that come to me and just like, Bo Nix doesn't even come close. Wasn't half the prospect. I'm like, if the Broncos had the opportunity, they would have taken both of them. No shit. Absolutely no shit. What kind of simpleton ass statement is that?
You took Bo Nix over Caleb in the offseason.
I would take Bo Nix over a lot of family members that I have. A lot of them.
I just feel like now the tape is out on him and they know his weaknesses. I think the one thing that teams and defenses were caught by surprise was his scrambling ability last year. Teams didn't really know that he could do that. But now they're starting to account for it. They're starting to account for him wanting to bail out of these pockets and a guy being there and then him having to panic. You talk about a safe floor. What I saw against Tennessee was a disaster.
It was, but I don't think what we saw in Tennessee was like the first month of the season last year. There was that level of conversation.
His first two games last year was abysmal.
I don't think we're going to get that consistently.
Three games accounted for 40% of his production last year. Touchdown production. 3 games.
You know what
that's why I said
Week
I think the
Chiefs,
touchdowns could come
Panthers,
down.
Falcons.
That could fluctuate.
Okay,
sure.
The Bengals.
The Bengals game, he played well.
He was awesome. The
Yeah,
Bengals.
I think the Bengals game.
But I think the first two games last year was against what, Seattle and
he was not good against the Chargers.
You said the touchdowns. I'm giving you games he had multiple touchdowns in.
But against the Chiefs, Panthers, and Falcons, he had 4 each.
The Bengals he had 2. The Chargers he had 2.
But I'm
the
not talking
Browns
about,
he had 2.
I'm not talking about just 2 touchdown games. I'm saying those 3 games, 12 touchdowns accounted for 40% of basically his touchdown production on the year.
Week 3 versus the Buccaneers, he was excellent.
I think that Bo Nix last year on film
Doesn't care.
He
does not.
I thought Bo Nix on film last year looked underwhelming.
Do you know who looks underwhelming on film
it
constantly? And it's true, Baker Mayfield. But you know what he does? He goes out there and he slings the rock.
That's a wild
and he's
name.
statistically incredible.
That was a wild
His
pull.
pocket presence is not good.
It's not Bo Nix.
There's some similarities.
Exactly my
They
point.
do.
He has happy feet. He throws
You
around.
caught me off guard with that one.
Baker's not underwhelming.
His pocket presence, strictly talking pocket presence, his
think
erratic ass motions
Baker
in
has
the
the
pocket.
same tendencies.
That's it.
Yeah.
No,
He's jumpy as hell.
He is a little jumpy in the pocket.
That's all I'm saying.
jumpy.
He's not Bo Nix
here's the
jumpy.
thing.
Don't get me wrong. He's
gives
not
you that
Bo Nix
anxious
jumpy.
vibes, too.
Baker Mayfield goes through progressions. He makes aggressive throws. He reads the field. Bo Nix does not
But he also
read
takes
the field.
gambles, though. And he's still happy.
Yeah,
Bo
he
Nix
takes
made an
gambles.
aggressive throw to
The
Sutton.
game-winning touchdown to Ibuka was a gamble.
Yeah,
No,
he
that
takes
was an
gambles.
absolute
I think
dime.
Baker Mayfield, to me, I don't watch him and I say he's underwhelming. No,
No, you're right, but you get anxious.
I watched Bo Nix and I said I don't think the numbers
Well said.
match
You get anxious
what the
watching
film
Baker
showed.
Mayfield for
I don't think the
sure.
numbers match what the film showed. That's why I think he will regress this year because I think those will even out now that teams understand his
I mean,
weaknesses.
he did it for 17 games, throwing off platform when unnecessary, often. And I've admitted that all last season. Unnecessary times, he just did it constantly and so consistently and accurately that I have no problem with it. It becomes a problem when you look like you did in week 1. But I believe we're going to rely on the run game a lot more moving forward. And we're not going to pass 40 times and throw for under 200 yards.
His first 4 weeks last year was Pittsburgh, Seattle, the Jets, and I forgot the other
The
team.
Buccaneers, and then week 5 we played the Saints.
so
and he was terrible.
he's playing these tough ass defenses early on.
Or the Raiders,
But
week 6
I don't
was
think
the Saints.
those were his only bad games.
No, I was just
think
thinking
so.
the first start. Of
What
the
other
season.
game was he
Ooh.
objectively
I
bad
think
in?
both
Throw
Chargers
man.
games he wasn't good in.
The second one he was good.
The second
we
one
fell
he
off.
missed
First half, you guys were
Yeah,
down.
the second
second
off
one-
we fell off.
The second one, his A dot was terrible.
Mahomes was bottom 3 and 8 out. I don't
But
care.
no, Mahomes is A dot is 6.6. Bo Nix, I think at a point
It was
literally had like his completions were like it was I think maybe like 10 completions for like 60 yards or something. I don't
Sometimes
know.
you
It
get it
was
how you
really
get it.
low. But I don't think he was good in that second game. I don't.
First Chargers game, he played well in the second half. He was not good in the first.
He didn't play well against the Colts. He didn't play well
I
against
agree.
the Colts.
But he clutched up when we needed him to.
He didn't
I
play
remember that.
well against the Ravens in the middle of the year.
No, that was easily when we played
I
against good
definitely feel
comps.
like, if anything, the season for Bo Nix there's a lot of
Hey,
variance.
fans, every time you see me do this, Jettas get the ball.
And most of the good games he had were against bottom barrel defenses. I felt like whenever he played against a solid defense, an average unit, he didn't play well.
That's not a terrible take. I think
No, it's
statistically, you're probably right. I
except
do
the
think,
Chargers.
yeah, I do think Bo Nix is an older rookie, but
Same
he's
age as
still
Jaden.
a sophomore, and I do think we still have to give him room to grow as a player.
Thank
I
you,
also think the wide receiver room doesn't give him much wiggle room to make too many mistakes. I also think he shouldn't be throwing the ball 40 times. Like, I don't think that's something Bo Nix is in the benefits of doing. I think you can mix it up with a little bit of play action. Of course, him running the ball. Also, I do think the Titans' defense isn't getting enough credit here. I think their defense has talent. I think their defense is really good. I'm in a sense where I don't think he'll have a sophomore slump to where we're completely, but it all depends on where you had him in the beginning. If you thought he was going to be like a top 5, top 7 quarterback before, I can see it, but I think he was always, in my mind, going to be a top 15-ish level quarterback, and I don't think that's going to change.
Yeah, I think Sean
good point.
Payton. I think Sean Payton wants consistency. Like, I think Sean Payton wants a guy that week in and week out, he knows what he's going to get. And that's hard for any rookie quarterback or young quarterback, I should say, even if Bo Nix has a lot of experience in college. I don't think Sean Payton's expecting Bo to go out there and be a top 5 or 7 quarterback. That's why if he's Sean Payton, he's like, we're going to take quarterback in the first round that has some tools, that has some things I can work with, and I'm going to mold him into a good quarterback. And listen, in year 1, I know there were some up and downs, but you left his rookie season being like, okay, we're feeling good. Really rough week 1 because, awful. I mean, they were, 8-9 point favorites, one of the biggest favorites of the week. They were my damn survivor pick. I was sweating it out in the fourth quarter.
Bro,
Jesus
the
Christ.
I just feel like when any team drafts a quarterback.
There we go. Yes.
When you draft this quarterback, you have to, in a way, look 4 or 5 years ahead. And you need to ask yourself, is this quarterback worthy of a second contract that will probably reset the quarterback market in a degree? Maybe there are some quarterbacks that you're not the most comfortable with paying that to, but you think they're good enough to where I feel comfortable giving them that money. And it's still early in Bo Nix's career, and it's still early in a lot of these second-year quarterbacks' career. They're only in their second seasons. But right now, what I could say with certainty is that I feel like Jaden Daniels is one of those guys that I'd have no issue paying.
Easily.
I think Caleb Williams will become one of those guys.
He's a top 5 pick.
And I think the other 3 quarterbacks, the one I feel the best about is probably Michael Penix with the way he's playing in Atlanta. I think I feel the best about with him.
I think that's unfair though, because I'm gonna use Miami for example. I don't think they were looking 4 or 5 years down the road when they picked Tua, because Tua.
I didn't
had the
say
hip
they
injury.
were. I'm saying that when you draft a quarterback,
That's
you
what you should
need
do.
to do that.
That's tough.
Because if you don't,
You might not even be there in 4 years.
because if you don't, what happens? You have a situation where you overpay a guy, you can't build out your roster, and then you realize, okay, this guy didn't develop in the way that we thought he was going to develop, and he might be holding the team back in a way. So we see that with a couple teams. I think the Dolphins are one of those teams.
I get that.
I think you're probably going to bring up Trevor Lawrence being on thin ice with the Jaguars a little bit.
What pick was Bo? Because I feel like that's also
11, 12?
I think 12.
That's placement. Like if you're a top 5 pick, hell yeah, you probably looking for it. But if you
12
like,
is high. Don't get me wrong.
it is. But in that class, at his age, I don't think they were thinking
The
like
age thing, we got to stop. He's the same age as Jaden.
Jaden
Jaden
is
clears him.
generational.
Yes, he clears him by a lot.
I'm
He's
not
better.
giving
Right,
you
so much.
Same age.
I'm not giving you
Yeah.
slack because you were the 12th pick and not
I
the
agree.
first overall
I
pick.
agree.
Jordan Love was the 26th pick in the draft. Jalen Hurts was a
They
second round
they had
pick.
opportunity to
But
sit him,
Jordan
though.
also far exceeded everyone's expectation.
And Jordan Love started the same age as Bo Nix started.
Yeah, but they had opportunity to sit there, Aaron Rodgers.
They did have an opportunity to sit him, but this is just my bias, but I think Jordan Love is going to be fine. Whether he went somewhere.
You're probably one of the
But I also
few
think that
thought
he's just talented enough to do that, you know? So I
Yeah.
just feel as if I'm not going to judge these guys on a curve when after your rookie year, second most passing touchdowns by a rookie quarterback ever, there are expectations for, and excuse me, this
All good.
tease
Don't
got
worry
me.
about it, bro.
That's a
Hey,
reflex.
that was nuts.
It's all right.
I know.
You tried to
almost-
go. You tried to keep
almost-
going.
You
I'm-
said, excuse me,
yeah.
to cut it off, but I
I
understand.
almost threw up a little bit. So I
Talk
think
about Bo Nix disgusting.
I think that with these quarterbacks, you do have to project a little bit, and now the expectations are higher.
I agree.
It's simple
Just
as
don't
that.
be it's unfair.
There's
to
nothing
just,
unfair about it.
It is because he's played one game. You know what I'm saying? Like he's played one game. Granted,
It's an overreaction. I'm fine with it.
It's an awful game. Like bottom bear. That's what's making it worse. He played so bad.
Even in
that-
the so bad game, he had a dime to Sun.
Stop it.
Stop.
it. Enough.
He had a dime.
Enough.
I don't care.
Yo, fact or fiction, it was a dime.
Yo, we don't care.
Can we just...
We really don't care.
But my point being is,
Bro, he's
in
one
the
of the few-
absolute
bro,
worst
bro.
game I've seen him
He
play.
threw the ball 40 times.
He
I
was
hope
one
there's
of the,
one.
he
good
was one of the 3 worst quarterbacks. The only reason he wasn't worse because Tua was that bad.
That's a fact.
That's why he wasn't worse. Like Tua was that bad.
It
Yo,
honestly
tighten
isn't
up,
even
bro. Because
close.
I'm defending Bo. Like tighten up.
I'm just saying, he had a
Yeah,
good
he's
throw.
Jaden Daniels, sophomore slump guy, defending Bo Nix.
Hey, we did that for a video.
Okay, so next one
Can
up.
y'all get him?
Caleb is looking nuts. Get
Caleb
down.
is tweaked right now.
Yeah, I mean, I told the Vikings fans that the Bears gonna be better than them this year. I mean,
Did you really?
yeah, I did.
Oh.
I think, yeah, I told
Did you
them.
say as a joke or you?
I just tweeted they're coming
No,
in second place.
I'm
so.
serious. Okay, but this is next overreaction. Lions will miss the playoffs.
That's a strong overreaction. They're making the playoffs.
extreme.
Their offensive line looked terrible.
Everything looked terrible.
So let me give you
it
this
really-
number, and then you can make your opinion. Maybe your opinion is already sold. when Sean McVay or Ben Johnson have not been calling plays for Jared Goff, he's 0-19-1 as a
Kind of
quarterback.
hilarious.
He doesn't have a win.
Defense is here. The defense performed well against the Packers.
Oh, I don't know. That first half.
All things considered, with the bad field possession that they would get as well.
Jordan Love in his first three drives, I think he finished every
walked
third
down
and
the
8.
field.
Yeah, and then he didn't.
No, second
for the
half.
rest of the
second half they
game.
definitely changed. But first half, it definitely was
They
like
bottled Jacobs.
I think-
I'm
Yeah.
watching that game last night, and I'm thinking
They were in the game.
There's
Like, it was
a
like
chance.
17-6, and it felt like the Packers should be up 40.
If the Lions if they did anything with the ball at all,
I'm gonna meet you in the middle with it.
Okay.
Because I think in the first half, Jordan was just walking
he was
down.
walking him down.
Yeah,
and I
second
was
half,
texting. I was
I
like,
mean,
yeah.
for me overall, I think that the Lions, they got stonewalled because the Packers defense is probably just going to be.
They couldn't run the ball.
It could be the best in football. Like, that's how good they were.
I don't know, man.
There are a couple candidates for it.
I got one thing.
You do have the Broncos. You have the Texans. I think the Packers are going to be
So the
in that
Texans
elite
put the Rams
defensive
in a
company.
box.
Question: Rams sleeper?
Texans offense.
Fair enough.
Can't
Continue.
see it just yet.
Texas O-line.
But that's
oh my
why.
God, I was in
I mean,
there having
I kind of feel like would any of you guys be shocked? We had this conversation when we did the stand-ins, but would any of you be shocked if the Bears came second in this division?
Yes.
After seeing week 1 and this first 2 drives, I wouldn't be shocked.
I mean, Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, who he got so much criticism last year. His first couple of drives, they're driving
Marching
the Vikings down the field. At least it's the second drive. It could change, but I think if they would win this game, this would be a mighty statement. And I would
huge
think,
statement.
like now,
week
I mean,
one statements. Just I don't know.
it's the players came back, but not only did Ben Johnson go to Chicago and take some coaching staff with him, but Aaron Glenn took some coaching staff with him too. And Tanner Engstrand's looking like he's really freaking good. Like, what if they just didn't pick the right coaches to stay, or the coaches that they wanted to make as OC or DC, they got poached away? You know, those decisions could happen. And I feel like there is an element of the Lions that feels very 2023 Eagles-ish, where they have a year where they make the wrong OC and DC picks.
Terrible throw.
I think what it is, I think we have to give the Lions time to adjust. I think week 1, you don't have your OC, you know, it's a new coaching staff. You're going up against the Green Bay defense. That was really good last year for the most part. They just picked up Michael Parsons. I think it's fair to give them a moment to just adjust, because in that game, they couldn't run the ball. Really was nothing open in the passing game. Yeah, they really couldn't do anything on offense. They did end up bottling up Josh Jacobs. Second half, Green Bay's offense didn't look the greatest as it did in the first half. So they adjusted on the defensive side in that game. Offensively, they just couldn't get nothing going. So I think with them, and obviously we're watching this game right now, so obviously Chicago looks good. So it's easy to just be like, yo, this is the moment right here where they look good. But I think Detroit, they get the grace of just adjusting. Because, you know, I feel like there's like 2 to 3 periods of an NFL season. There's the early period, the middle period, and then there's the, you know, now it's time to really gear in, get ready for the playoffs. I think Detroit right now, they got punched in the mouth. I'm looking at how they respond. So I'm not going to say, I'm going to say I'm out on that statement. I do think Detroit is still one of the most talented teams in football, especially in the NFC. I think they'll still make the playoffs. If you're talking about winning division, we got to have a little bit more conversation, because now you're 0-1. That those games do matter in division, but I still think they'll make the playoffs.
I think your point's right. I do think you need to give the Lions time. That was part of the reason why I took the Packers. I thought obviously they were better. I had them win the division, but also it does feel like when you lose both coordinators, right, it's going to take some time naturally, but also it's like the NFL, you got 17 weeks, man. And we have 4 teams in that division that we all think can make the playoffs. We have 4 teams in the NFC West. We'll see what happens with Purdy that we all think can make the playoffs. There's at least 2, maybe 3 teams in the NFC East that we think can make the playoffs. The Falcons look pretty decent. We know the Bucs are good. It's like when you fall behind, right, where we have to give the Lions time to kind of catch up. If these other teams get off to a hot start and the Lions kind of start slow-footed and now they have to fight their way back up, it might be too late already. So I'm not going to overreact to that yet, because I do think the roster is talented. I believe in Dan Campbell as a head coach. I think the 0-19 number with Jared Goff is hilarious, but I think Jared Goff is a better
before
quarterback
the game
than
or
that.
after?
I think
After the game.
Do I think Jared Goff's a better quarterback
then
than
0-19? Yeah, for sure. Better than
0-19.
I mean, but
0-19.
also, you know, most of that came with Jeff Fisher and stuff. So
Yeah, some bad
I
situations.
Yes, I feel like it is a little bit. You got to give him some slack, because
He's number 1 overall pick. It's a bad team.
First year
Yeah.
in Detroit, first overall pick. That's basically the 2-year sample size that they use.
0-19 is just so funny. Like,
It's actually dreadful.
I'm out on this. I think they will make the playoffs, because I'm more in on the Packers. I think the Packers are for real. And I think they just punched the Lions in the mouth. It didn't matter if this game was week 1, week 10, week 17. I was picking the Packers to beat the Lions at home.
Oh, we know.
I think what was most concerning, though, is there was nothing going on offense. Like, Jahmyr Gibbs had 10 receptions for 33 yards. That was the most or the least amount of yards on 10 receptions in NFL history. Amon-Ra St. Brown couldn't get anything going. Jameson Williams couldn't get anything going. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't pass the ball. The protection was sketchy. There was just nothing you can really leave this game with offensively thinking other than it can't get worse because it's really hard to find positive takeaways.
They could not push the ball downfield. I think the only positive play that I felt was explosive was to Sam Laporta. Like those throws over the middle of the field, and then he had his yak after that. There was no real explosive offense.
Like they couldn't get nothing going down the field. And I think if we judge teams like that, the Rams, we'd be talking about they're one of the worst teams in football to start the year. And then they end up going on a crazy run towards the end of the year. So I think the Lions, like you mentioned, like Green Bay at home, they just got Micah, raucous crowd. Like the crowd was in the game. Yeah. They drove down the field in easy fashion. Detroit they wasn't ready for that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they wasn't ready for that game at all. Like Green Bay was prepared for that game. They were ready. Detroit wasn't. How do you respond?
I was also a bit disappointed in like Green Bay. It felt like they were dominating. And it was 17-6.
Yeah,
and it felt like after the first 2 or 3 drives, they kind of just took the foot off the pedal and like, all right, we're just going to cool it off. I don't know.
See, I think they did take their foot off the pedal.
I actually don't know what you're talking about.
I think like another team.
I think the run game wasn't as effective as we thought it would be. I get it. It's the Lions. Lions are a strong run defense. But on top of it, Jordan got bailed a little bit second half. That INT, that wasn't Anzalone just drops it.
Oh my God! Yeah.
And then Brian Branch with a great play to break on the ball, was a pick six overturned by a roughing the passer, and I think it was a legal contact, which of course, nevertheless, a flag's a flag. But I also didn't think we saw. I think the Jaden Reed pass was nuts. The pass on the sideline where it hit Jaden Reed in the hands, and it is Jaden Reed, who I thought had a decent game yesterday, all things considered. But that's a tough catch for him to make, considering his issue with drops. But outside of that one pass in the second half, I wasn't overly infatuated with Jordan's game. First half was amazing. Second half, underwhelming.
Detroit in the second, sorry.
Are you out? You're out on
Never.
This. So you think the Lions are making the playoffs?
Yeah, for sure.
Detroit, I felt like defensively they went into the halftime, came out with a game plan. Offensively, they were just in there like, bro, we have nothing. Like there's just nothing. What the hell are we gonna do? Like we can't get
was
anything
terrible.
over.
You mentioned it. He wasn't
Gibbs
good either.
was bad. Like Amon-Ra couldn't get anything going.
Yeah.
Jameson Williams couldn't get. Like they were just like, we have nothing to do. Like it's nothing.
But
for
I
us
don't
to
think
do.
it's crazy to like if people want overreact. I don't think it's crazy because you don't have. Like the only thing you have to go off of is like, well, the Lions have been good, but this isn't the same offensive line and this isn't the same play call.
They lost a lot, bro.
And you mentioned the brain drain you get when you lose both coordinators, right?
Yeah.
You're losing not just 2 guys, but like probably 10 guys.
I don't know if right now
dude.
if you can say 6 teams can make it over them. Like just take Green Bay out of it. Because I put them as the 7th team. I just don't think you can right now grab 6 teams in the NFC that look that good to put them over.
Not
there. You know what I'm
definites.
saying?
There's probably like the Eagles and Packers are maybe the only definites.
Even Philly, love my team. We didn't look that great on the defensive side of the football.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Or
like,
offensively for that
Tampa and Atlanta, they went down to the wire. Both defenses play well. Tampa's offense didn't look the greatest against that Atlanta defense. You know what I'm saying? Seattle, the Niners offensive line. Trent Williams was horrible.
I can't believe it.
hurt.
Are we watching
you know what I'm saying? Both those teams didn't look. The Rams
Kittle's
offense
out 3
got
to 5
stalled.
weeks now. Purdy's hurt, so who knows? 3 to 5.
Yeah, bro. Like
Who's going 3 to 5?
Kittle.
Oh,
Kittle's out from. So I'm like the NFC
so
right now.
already getting bit by the injury, bro.
Yeah, it's vulnerable. So
I don't know
you
what it is, bro. They have
bad luck.
injuries.
Who knows?
The Cardinals did not look good either. Jesus
Johnson's
Christ.
second in PFF coverage grade.
Kyler had Mudbutt.
He was sick, but that was a
dog fight. We have the rookie of the
Saints.
week. We have the rookie of the week.
Talk.
We have the rookie of
The real new.
We have the rookie of the fucking week, Dels. I want
Rookie
you
of
to
the year.
understand that.
Rookie of the year.
I ain't gonna say all that.
Rookie of the year.
We got rookie
The
of the
one
week.
thing the Lions need to be wary of is just the interior offensive line.
Fact.
Tate Ratledge, I didn't think had a good game, but I thought Christian Mahogany was even worse.
It's a
Christian
cute name.
Mahogany was
Mahogany.
awful. And I think if their interior offensive line, I mean, after losing Zeitler and Frank Ragnow, 2 all-pro level players,
Devastating.
I mean, that can alter the efficiency of their run game. It can alter the efficiency of their pass game. So I think losing basically the backbone of that offense and then the play calling, I think that's what they have to be wary of right now with the Detroit Lions.
Dog shit.
And this
throw.
is
that should
the
not
last
be a flag.
Awful.
the last
Ball
in or
10
out
yards behind
statement.
him.
We'll take it though.
Bryce Young's strong end to last season was a fluke.
I love that we're ending on this.
He has something to say.
No, he didn't play bad.
There we go.
He did not play bad. He had a bad throw.
It's a flag.
No, it's a flag for sure.
But it's a dog
it was
shit
a bad
pass.
throw, way underthrown.
It is a flag too.
His first
Aaron Jones' little
INT,
ass.
his first INT was a bad decision, and also got tipped in the air. It is what it is, but it was a bad decision. You're scrambling outside. I didn't like the throw there. You didn't need to do that. His receivers were selling him. It seemed like him and Corbett weren't on the same page. The snaps were kind of a little bit wonky, and one led to like a 15-yard sack. Bryce Young definitely was not the best quarterback. He's far from the conversations that I've been seeing on his name, and for an overreaction statement like this. Him and Tetaroa, that was a strong connection. I really loved what I seen between the two of them. But I watched Xavier Legette I don't know what he does when the ball's in his hands. He doesn't have any type of mindset of a sideline. Hunter Renfrow dropped some easy passes. The interception to end the game was a bad drop by the running back. Chuba Hubbard had a touchdown, but even he had a bad drop that could have had some yards. His talent around him is not great. Left tackle was injured as well. The talent around him is still underwhelming. I thought he made some really high-level throws that were not capitalized by his receivers. Tetaroa almost made an insane catch.
Ted
also,
was OD.
The one hand that you could have honestly called pass interference on 4th and 5 and would put him at the 1 yard line, but it was close.
I'm out on Leggett, by the way.
I'm done,
I'm
bro.
done.
Jalen Coker being injured is devastating
I'm
because
done.
Hunter Renfrow stinks and so does Leggett.
Leggett's awful.
Now, I do think there might be some validity to the statement that 80% of Bryce Young's NFL games thus far have been bad
agreed.
NFL games.
I agree.
But I
80%.
think the second half of last year
Really good.
was really promising.
You could call it elite.
And it reminded me of another quarterback who in the second half of the season was
And he's moved me officially.
otherworldly.
Wait, you gotta stop. Wait. You know who it is. Wait. You know how he is.
I need to know
There's
who
always
you
a
think I'm
caveat with
talking
things.
about.
Second half of the season.
You gotta watch him. You gotta watch
Talk
him.
about Jordan Love.
Yeah, but you gotta watch him.
Second half of the
He could
season,
snake you at any moment.
You're right.
He could
it
snake you at
reminds
any
me
moment.
a lot of Sam Darnold with
I'm
the
gonna vomit.
Jets.
He could snake you at any
Like,
moment.
anytime
Dells is my witness.
Darnold.
When I used to root for the Jets back in the day,
Don't let him do it.
Sam
2 months
Darnold,
ago, by the way.
Sam
it
Darnold,
was literally a week.
Sam Darnold in the second half of the season would always finish on PFF as like one of the 10 or 5 best graded quarterbacks, and he would end off the season strong to where it gave you hope heading into the new season that this is the year that he's gonna turn it around. And I mean, hindsight is 2020. We know Sam Darnold is a good quarterback, so I don't think that all that was for nothing. I think the Jets were just dysfunctional. But I think Bryce Young, there's a lot of things with that game that could have went wrong. I think the weather delay, just threw off the rhythm of the game too. I did think he made some bad decisions, but overall, I do think that he's just going to be solid. And I think that's what he is. He's just solid. I think he's a solid quarterback. And I think the Panthers, they do have to do better with building talent around him. But it does feel underwhelming, the fact that the Jaguars defense is not a unit that either of us are really high on.
I agree with you.
And
Far from.
the fact that the Panthers struggled that much offensively was kind of alarming because we're all expecting them to take a bigger jump. And I also was underwhelmed by the defense too. They allowed 200 rushing yards to the Jaguars offense. And that was a defense that added a lot of new bodies to their defense. But Deshaun Wharton did leave the game with the hamstring injury. So they did have some injuries there. I'm out on it. I need to see a couple more Bryce Young bad games for me to say that I just don't see it with
Are you
them.
ruined
Do you
for it?
think this was a bad game?
I thought it was his decision making was pretty poor in this.
I
game.
agree. There was the INT. It was a bad decision, no way around it. The one that got overturned as well, that wasn't a great decision either. But all in all, last year, what we saw from him was tight window throws, trusting your arm, letting it rip down the middle of the field. I saw exactly that versus the Jaguars. His receivers could not bring it in.
Welcome back to the second part of this show. We're going to go over the biggest storylines that happened in NFL Week 1, and we have 4 major ones. But before we get into it, in the comments section, thank you guys for everybody that complimented us on the studio. We had one of the top comments recommend us that we should use warm lighting, and that is what we're using right now. It's warm lighting there's a difference. And we're getting all technical. Warm lighting is basically 3000K. And before it was 4000K. It was in the middle between cool white and warm. It was kind of neutral.
Okay.
So now we're using warm lighting. Let us know how you guys like it.
Facts.
We're also using our main camera.
Yeah, for real.
So that's probably why it also looks better. But thank you for the recommendation. And there's also a comment that I've been meaning to get to. But he wants our top 10 rappers of all time. And I think our top 10 movies of all time, if I'm not mistaken. It's not something we're going to do right now, but it is something to be mindful of because
Maybe that's a Friday.
He has been asking for a while now, and I've been telling him, we'll do it.
What's one rapper you guys would have up there that we wouldn't think to guess? All of you. Like, I know you would have G Herbo.
G was number one.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what's one that, like, you'd be like, okay, like, I didn't expect that from you.
The Kid Leroy.
Rapper.
Kid Leroy used to rap.
He used to when he was good.
When he was good. Oh, shit. Interesting.
I don't know, because I feel like you would expect, because you know the type of rap I like. So I feel like there's no one.
There's between you wouldn't expect or you don't know.
Wouldn't expect.
Okay.
Well, that would be kind of both.
I'll go with Capital Steez.
Wouldn't expect that.
You know who Capital Steez is?
The guy
I've
with Joey
heard the
Badass?
name.
Come on, don't disrespect me.
Cannot name
me.
I'm sorry, you don't like Dave East, though.
He's garbage.
Davies used to be fire.
It's similar rap.
No, but
style.
I love Joey, though.
Davies used to be incredible.
He used to be
He was
out of
incredible
this
for like a
world
year,
good.
bro.
He
God,
has
they will never get over
2 or
it.
3 good albums.
They will never get over
2.
that time.
Easy.
He's probably put out
Kyrie
15.
Chanel.
Uh-huh.
P2.
Okay, you love P2.
P2 is
You
fantastic.
love P2. What is it? Days in the not Days in the
Hate Me Now.
Hate Me Now.
Yeah,
Hate Me
yeah.
Now. Hate Me Now.
He's probably dropped 15 albums.
Oh,
He's dropped
yeah.
way too many.
Well, I'm saying like before he was asked, he was going hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like in the top 10 easily, you got to be Kendrick, J. Cole, Drake,
None. Drake would be my
Lil
top 10.
Wayne.
Wayne is in my
Definitely
top 10.
for me.
It's just like me, like mine,
I think it's just us.
because I'm not in the car listening to Lil Wayne. You know what I mean? Like,
He's still in my top 10.
You don't listen to no Carters?
no, bro.
I'll be honest, I'll be in the crib still listen. Like, my top 10 is 50 Cent.
Oh, 50 Cent for
I
sure
listen
is
to
in my
him
top
every
10.
day.
You know who Lil Peep is?
Yeah.
Okay, Lil Peep would most definitely be in my top 10.
I've heard of him, but I don't think I've heard his music.
He died,
before.
sadly.
Pop Smoke's in my
Juice
top 10.
WRLD would definitely be my
respect
top 10.
Pop Smoke's definitely
I respect
Lil
that.
Durk is
Pop Smoke
undoubtedly in my
easily
top 10.
10.
Durk,
Joey would be in my top 10.
that's a good value. That's a good one.
I gotta put my 10 together. Yeah,
I would have Common in my top 10.
What?
Common.
Are you serious?
You don't listen to Common?
No.
You never
Common
listen
is
to B?
amazing.
I have no. Do I listen? No, I don't listen to Common. I'm surprised. Yo, Joel, I think you're capping.
About
No,
Common?
I think you are capping about that.
Comedy,
one,
your
too.
top 10?
Yeah.
I think you listen to. I don't think he's in your top 10.
I listen to Common all the time.
Top 10?
Because the person who produced his beats was Jay Dilla. He produced a lot of his
R.I.P.
beats. And Jay Dilla,
Yo,
Slum
Ballnauer.
Village.
Ballnauer.
Slum Village, I listen to Slum Village a lot. So
Okay.
Now you're cooking.
I just be
You ever
chilling
listen
with
to
them.
Donut?
Yes.
That is an all timer.
This
It
Zen
is.
guy now.
I like more so his work that his beats that aren't on that album though.
Really?
I think his
I
best
get
beat
it.
all time to me is "It's Your World" by Common.
Okay.
It's a song by Common,
Uh-huh.
and that is one of the best beats that I've heard in my life.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
Ooh.
I might have been holding.
But yeah, that's it. I would probably go like a mix of like 2010 zero then old school for sure.
I feel like movies would be a lot more fun because our fans, for whatever reason, think that they are writers on Pitchfork, like they're the smartest musicians.
That's the best part about giving our rap takes.
They could
'Cause
just
they hate
shit
them.
on- Yeah, they hate it so much.
It bothers
Like
me.
me and Zell's gonna have Dirk top 3.
You know why it bothers me? It bothers me because I listen to so much music, and to see every single time, yo, you don't know shit, Drake fan, Glazer. I'm just like, yo, go to hell.
I listen to more R&B than rap.
I get more offended with them talking bad
Ooh.
about my music opinions than sports.
I gotta. Okay, I'm on my YouTube music right now. My YouTube music is not a reflection of the music I've listened to in the past. It's just things I've been in the mood in recently. So in the mood, the person I've really been listening to a lot recently is Kid Cudi. Man on the Moon.
I love Kid Cudi.
His second album.
1 and 2 is great.
Yes. After
You ever
that,
seen
his
his
work
movie?
definitely fell off. I did not see his
The movie is elite.
Is he a good actor?
He's not. He's a voiceover. It's intergalactic.
Shout out.
Watch him when you're high.
Shout out to my boy Fem.
Throw it away. Oh my god.
Shout out to my boy Fem. He recommends, if you are a Kid Cudi fan, Indicud. You should give Indicud a run. Speed and Bullet to Heaven, the song, not the album, the song is a classic. That's it. Kid Cudi's good.
His
though.
work fell off after
After
the
Man on the Moon
Tourist
too.
album.
You gotta have
But
a
Because
kid.
he experimented a lot with his sound. That's why
I do think Indie Cud's worth a run, unless you've already listened to it.
I'll listen to it. I haven't listened to it. I only listened to the
You gotta
first
have
two
a
albums.
certain taste for
Like
him.
Man on the Moon, I listened to that repeatedly. When
It's
I
a
used to
perfect
work
record.
as an electrician, I would bump that album for like 6 of the 9 hours of the workday.
It's
Just,
a great,
it would be on repeat.
great album.
And then as recently, my favorite song I've been listening to on repeat has been Mr. Rager.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Cuddy's Own a ton.
And Mojo So Dope.
Okay, it's another good one.
Yeah, Cuddy's Own is cool. Shut your mouth before I fuck it.
That's nuts.
That is a good line. I love singing
So
it.
what would be our number? What would be our number one movie?
Yo, very low key.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Lost me.
Whoa.
Lost me.
Or Go
Number
Will Hunting.
one, Lost
Go
me.
Will Hunting.
Lost me.
Why you? Yo, you're cloud chasing now. Stop.
What do you
Lost
mean?
me.
Stop.
There's no way
You
Good
go
Will
Bro
Hunting is
Will
your number.
Hunting
Those-
There's no way that's your
Pursuit
number one
of
movie.
Happiness.
Yes, because those
You wanna know
movies-
what's my
No,
favorite
I can
movie?
see Pursuit of
You wanna
Happiness.
know- I can see that too.
Go
The
Will
Go Will
Hunting, what do you
Hunting.
mean?
Come on.
What do you mean?
What the fuck?
It's an emotional movie.
You know what? You make me sick to my
It
stomach.
is. He's right.
Yeah,
it
but
is.
number one, no.
Number one, can I tell you honestly, bro? It might shock you.
What?
Surf's Up.
The cartoon.
Yes.
Okay.
You're going to hate my number one movie of all time then. Because I've recently just watched it not that long ago.
What
It's
is it?
actually maybe a year ago I
I'm gonna
watched
say
it.
Gone Girl.
Interstellar.
Interstellar is amazing.
That's in my
one
top.
of the
It's in my
best
top
movies
five.
ever.
Yeah, that's the best movie I've seen.
It's in my
Film-
top
Interstellar's
five.
fire.
Cool.
Film-
That
wise
might
is
not
the
be in my
best.
top five. Might not be.
What's your number one?
American Gangster.
Oh, it's a great movie. It's a great
American
movie.
Gangster. Number
Boys in the
two.
Hood?
You
What'd you say?
Huh? No, I'm saying that's mine. That's one of mine.
Number two would be The Departed. Like it's just
All right.
bang.
Good one.
The Departed.
Yo, that
Easily.
ending. That
Yeah.
ending's one of the goat endings.
All timer.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
it is.
Dark Knight's honestly
Yeah,
probably
it
number
has
one.
to be. I'm fine
Dark
with
Knight's
that.
up there. Goodfellas is up there. I like movies. I like movies more than
Goodfellas
shows.
was a banger too.
Yeah,
I like
movies
Menace
more
to
than
You
shows.
like
Society.
gangster movies?
Never seen it.
You never seen Menace to Society?
No.
I have to strip the 12%.
What the hell?
You've never seen
I
it.
don't. I haven't
Watch it.
seen.
Okay.
Society
That's expected.
either. I was seen American Gangster.
It's not the same.
Okay.
Menace to
Seen
Society
Boys
is
in the
really
Hood.
cool.
Seen Paid in Full.
So then you should see Menace. It just doesn't make
I've
sense
never
at that
even
point.
heard of it.
Menace Society for real?
Yeah, who stars in it?
I don't remember the
He
guy's
has
name.
like
Posted after
he has
strip
like
the
box
12%.
braids, sort of, right?
yeah, I forgot. He's from. You ever seen Love Jones?
You're just saying.
Never mind. Just
The reason why I know that
It's
movie is
getting worse
because
for me.
in a lot of rap songs they would play his quote in rap
Yeah,
music,
it's a good movie.
and that's how like I got introduced to it.
Men in Black's not a great
1993. Men in Black. You're just naming movies that have black people in it. I mean, dude,
I'll
jokes.
say one of my favorite movies I watched, definitely in my top 10 over the last couple of years, it was Soul from
Soul?
Pixar.
I've seen that.
Soul? You never watched it?
All right, you're back.
Soul is
You're
really
back.
freaking good.
Have I
You
seen
should
that?
watch it, bro.
I like heartwarming, touching
The beginning,
movies.
the opening scene where he's
How you spell it?
SOUL.
Have I seen this?
The beginning movie, he's a musician teacher, a band teacher. And it just brings such a good memory of when you were young and your band teacher just
tried. I've
decided
never
to
seen it.
start just out of nowhere. They showed you why they're a band teacher and they just played an instrument. They were just amazing at it. He starts off and he starts playing the piano. It's such an amazing opening scene. It gets super dark.
Here we go. Lord of the Rings or Star Wars?
Cook. It's Lord of the Rings.
By far.
It's so comfortable.
I've seen a couple of the Star Wars. I've seen a couple of Lord of the Rings, but when I was young.
Yo, you make me sick to my
it's
stomach.
not-
You
actually.
have to watch both. You have to.
What do you like? What?
It's
Yo,
Star
bro.
Wars has
Del,
has
what's
a
up?
good amount of
I
quality.
watched Star Wars Episode 3 a few months back.
You got to
It's
watch
fire.
Lord of the Rings from start to finish.
I know. It'd be something I would like.
It would legitimately.
know.
Like you would like it.
But yeah,
It's
big
perfect.
commitment.
It is 4 hours. You have to sit
No,
in the
it's
crib.
literally 10 hours. 1, 2, and 3, it's 10 hours.
You got to sit in the crib for that one.
Commitment.
You guys, but if it's cold out one day, you can
Yeah,
Chelsea in the crib.
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
It's
me
the
and,
best time of the year we're getting into, though.
no cap. Me and Charles tried to watch the 3 Lord of the Rings in one day.
all day.
We watched the first 2
Tapped
in
out.
the same day. I think we tried it 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to do it and couldn't do it. It was just way too much to watch. Good defense. We finally watched the 3rd movie after like 7 years of trying.
Wait, how many are there?
3.
It's 3
They're
and then it's the
long.
Hobbit edition.
I was gonna say I
I've
thought
never
that-
watched them because they're long.
You like
Dude,
Harry
dude.
Potter?
You need to watch.
I'll
And
let
when
the
you
last
think
story.
about it, watching that is like watching an episode of her podcast.
Yeah,
True.
that's a
Yeah.
fact.
3 hour
It's
show.
but it's not. It's like a lot of killing and fighting.
And I'm gonna be
war.
honest. I don't know if our best podcast is as good
Not even
as
close.
the first.
No
You
way.
played the
No
Lord of the
way.
Rings video game on the
course.
PS2.
Oh,
I played the
every
shit
single
out
one
of
of
that
them.
game.
What is he doing?
He got hit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's good though. Like,
Fumble?
watch it. It's good. It's really good. Like the two towers. None of our podcasts can close.
Cook. The second Lord of the Rings is
Like,
perfect.
the Battle of Helm's Deep, I'd watch before
This-
every
when
podcast
the
we've ever made.
When the trees pop out,
Dog.
oh my god, bro!
When Gandalf comes up to the top and you see the brightness, and he's just like he's here, and then he comes with the horde. Like, bro, when the Rohirrim pull out, and it's just like he's not alone. It's like, bro, it's lit. It's lit.
That was.
Then you see Aragorn like Gandalf, and it's just like, yeah, bro. Bro, it's like, bro,
Who's
it's
your
lit.
favorite character?
Legolas.
Yo, Fred, you know so much fucking ball. It's stupid.
Legolas, by far.
He just be nonstop with the arrows.
16, 17. It's like, bro, he's the GOAT.
He's so different.
He's the GOAT. Like,
He
he's
is.
no emotion,
Yo.
just real end.
Nah,
he
for
can say it.
real. Yo, Orlando Bloom is a living
Yeah, that's my
legend.
swigger.
Nah, for real, bro. He's so goated.
Yo, but Josh Allen.
Yes. Before we talk about Josh Allen, real quick, JJ's not having the best game. I'm Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm a supporter. Vikings fans, I was gonna
Did we
keep.
just allow that?
I was going to keep the respect there with Vikings fans because of my transition. And I think, especially today in society, it's totally normal to go through transitions. People do it all the time.
It is.
So people do it all the time.
It is. You're right.
So
Teetering.
I just want to say this.
Why
Vikings
did you use that word?
Vikings fans are on my bad side because as soon as I started tweeting about the Packers, which I probably would have done it even if I didn't transition. As soon as I started tweeting about the Packers, they would quote tweet me. They would say, "Shut up, fat fuck." They'd be like, they'll be in the replies. They'll be like, "Yeah, shut up, fatty." They'd be like, "Yeah, fat tubster, tubster." They'd be like, "Yeah, you fatty." They'd be like, "Shut up, you're a bandwagon, fat ass." Oh my God. So now they're on my bad side.
Yeah,
for
fuck
that.
'em.
So now I'm actually, I'm rooting against JJ McCarthy and the success of the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow.
And in my hatred for
used to be a
them that I
Viking guy.
developed in my transition, because I feel like when you
used to be a
transition or when you become a Packers fan, you need to start hating the NFC North. I don't think I'm gonna hate the Lions or the Bears. They have done nothing for me to hate on them. The Vikings fans have been really annoying, and that's why now there's some built-up tension for them. Through
the Timbs
Twitter
drop you, man.
interactions. But Timberwolves. I told somebody, I said, mute me during the NFL, mute me during the NBA. That's it. I will
You're gonna
support the
talk about their
Timberwolves.
team.
You know what I'm saying? So you get the balance of both worlds. And now I thought about it. Minnesota is just, especially the Vikings, are a cursed franchise. And they know it too. Their fan base knows it too. But Case Keenum has a spectacular year with the Vikings, and then they get Kirk Cousins, and that was supposed to be an upgrade. And then they never get back to the same heights ever again that at least that Case Keenum team had. And Sam Darnold has a spectacular season. Instead of riding that magic, they go with JJ McCarthy. And if he was not as good as Sam, it would not surprise me at all. Just based on the history of Minnesota sports in general, it's just his first career game. So I hope that he does play well.
I don't think you hope that. It doesn't seem.
Yeah,
every single word you just said made it seem like
Well,
you
it
do
would
not
go
hope
against my
that.
Pat.
You country. Well, I mean, you went against that Viking first.
You were a Viking
You went
guy.
against the Vikings first. You did. You
So
was
you're
there.
saying you're saying is warranted the mean things they've been saying to me.
No, to call you fat
No,
is wrong.
fatty is
it's
crazy.
unfair.
You think they shouldn't call me
Toaster
Tubster?
made me
Yeah.
laugh.
No.
Toast. They call me Tubster.
Tubster.
I thought you said
I heard
toaster, too.
toaster.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
was-
but that it's so stupid that it made me laugh.
You know, Joel. Joel. Joel, I'm a very big advocate of stop being mean to my friend on Twitter.
appreciate that.
I'd be
Why
on
don't you
there.
take that stand from me?
I hate you, bro.
who the fuck says anything to you in the first place?
Just they call you Four Eyes. That's all you get.
I
bro.
love that, honestly.
Yeah, but Joel, I'll be on Twitter like, yo, bro. When they at me like, yo, bro, look at your friend. I'm like, bro, he's a grown man. Don't worry about what he's doing.
What's the worst comment you've gotten on Twitter?
Oh
I've
my
been
God,
called
dude.
the N-word. ER.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say Riv
Oh,
gets some
really?
nasty
I've
stuff.
been called the black N-E-R. Yeah.
I was gonna say the only thing I was the beans and rice comment. Whatever.
That was on YouTube, right?
And then that guy ended up acting like a fan afterwards. I was so upset about that we gave him attention.
Somebody said I look like a crackhead ER, and I laughed. I was like, all right.
Sometimes,
I thought
people
about that
get so
comment
mad,
the
you
other
just
day.
kind of have to laugh.
Yeah,
like,
like,
get us.
why are you so upset?
Like, am I making your day that bad?
Because then I replied, I just put question mark. He was like, my fault, bro. You got me so angry. And I was just like
I thought about that comment that they said to Drew the other day.
the beans and rice.
When I was upstairs eating rice and beans. And I was like, this shit good.
I'll be honest, I have rice and beans at minimum 5 times a week.
Yeah.
I have it so often. My mom makes
So when
it
you
all
saw
the
that
time.
comment, you were like, fuck,
I'm
it's
gonna have
not
rice and beans
wrong.
when I get home. Matter of fact.
No, I'll tell you what, that whole interaction pissed me off with Santos too, because he didn't have to post that. I was trying to give it no attention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's how you found out about it, or at least it got publicized.
No. It got publicized.
Yeah.
I don't give stuff like that any noise. But it was funny because he just lied the whole time outside of the beans and rice, because I do like rice and beans.
They're good, bro. They're good. No, I
I
had
don't
it.
like beans.
You don't like beans?
He's
big
like
fan of
fake
beans.
nurse, 5'8". I'm just like, okay,
5'8"
bro, you're just trying to get me
cat.
to say hello to you.
Okay, so let's talk about the storylines that we have.
Let's do it.
And the first one is based on the best game that happened
Yes, let's do it.
this
Steelers,
past
Jets.
weekend.
You're gonna hate me sitting next to you, buddy. Let's do it, man. Let's talk about the Steelers
Okay.
and Jets, man.
You want to talk about that first? Is that first?
I thought that's what you said.
You said the best game of the slate.
Oh,
His
okay,
thigh
okay. You know what?
really
That was
shook
the
my
Best
dream.
game of the slate comfortably was Ravens and Bills.
Depends who you ask.
What are we? You lost.
I lost both.
moral victory though
We're
for the
gonna talk
Jets at
about
least.
both,
So
honestly.
is Josh Allen the best quarterback in the NFL?
Yes, he is. He's the best quarterback in the NFL.
Well, who was the best quarterback in the first half of that game?
Without a shadow of a doubt, it was Lamar Jackson. But sometimes you need to come to a realization.
Talk.
Josh Allen is unbelievable. Over 250 yards in the fourth quarter. He finished with 4 touchdowns, 2 rushing in the fourth, 1 passing. He had a game in a quarter. He is the best player. He is the best football player. He is the best quarterback because of the supporting cast around him. He has a really good offensive line, but the weapons around him are not that of Lamar, not that of maybe now Patrick Mahomes, because those weapons that he has is not good, but definitely not that of a Joe Burrow.
Shit, Keon Coleman, baby.
Keon Coleman looked like a stud yesterday, without a doubt. But Josh Allen back against the wall, you know the floor you're getting with Josh Allen is at a minimum an 8.5, 9 out of 10. Just the way that he's operating week to week, game to game is simply just at a level no other quarterback sustains outside of 15. Lamar Jackson is a perfect player. Do not get me wrong. They did not lose yesterday's game because of Lamar Jackson. They lost because Josh Allen simply is better and just knows how to elevate. And just, it does not matter the high level defenses that he plays. Every elite defense, you know Josh Allen can still play up to par and get you a performance that can win you a ball game. They had no business winning that game. They were not the better team. They had the better player. And in those situations, that's when you see the separation. And this is not a slight to 15. This is not a slight to Lamar. It's simply not. It's just that Josh Allen maneuvers and plays at a level with a lack of supporting cast these last 2 seasons that only rivals that of Patrick Mahomes last season. And even still, he doesn't have the counting stats that Josh Allen has had last season and this, at least to start this season. And don't get me wrong, Mahomes looked good against the Chargers. But the performance that we saw versus the Ravens, a better defense than the Chargers, a more talented team in the Ravens. Josh Allen, I'm sorry. This guy is number 1. He is the best.
Was Lamar your number 1 coming into the season?
Yes.
Yes. No, my number 1 coming into the season was Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
And I think
Lamar was 2,
He was.
and Allen was 3.
Correct.
And this game now it's flipped.
100%.
Can this flip next week?
yes.
No.
Oh, no, we
it's
can't.
set. How long is it set for?
The rest of the season.
Rest of the
I
season?
like that.
Okay. Okay.
I think it's interesting, and I do think there's some validity to what Drew's saying, because I think all 3 of those guys have an opportunity every week to be the best in the world. I think all 3 of those guys have shown over the past 3 or 4 seasons that they are of a different level, of a different
Easily.
planet than all these other guys.
And Joe Burrow sometimes.
Yeah, Joe Burrow for sure. I just these 3 make the playoffs all the time.
Yeah.
I said sometimes.
Sometimes.
You did. I think Josh in that game, it just in the second half, because I feel like in the first half, for me, it felt like Joe Brady just wasn't aggressive enough. Like, you have a top 3 quarterback in the world, and you just want to keep running the ball, trying to, create that run game. And I think sometimes you got to just unleash a beast. And in the second half, I felt like he did that, specifically in the fourth quarter. But I feel like late in the third, he finally realized, like, yo, dude, I have one of the best gunslingers in the world. I may not have, Jamar Chase or CeeDee Lamb on the other side, but I have some good quality guys that Josh Allen can uplift. And you just saw it in his eyes. Like, you saw that he wanted it more. And I think, just speaking on the flip side, I feel like they should have let Lamar be more aggressive, but the run game was working. So, it's cool and whatnot. But is he the best? No, I still think Mahomes is the best in the world. I still think for Mahomes to lose that title.
I'm the Josh Allen guy now.
To lose that title for Mahomes, he has to lose in the playoffs to one of these guys. I think that's what it matters for him. I think Lamar and Josh have been a better regular season quarterback over the past 2 or 3 years over Mahomes. I think what it comes down to, though, for them two, it's not about these moments. Like, I know we love these moments, and these moments are amazing, and Josh and Lamar both played amazing, and we know they can do this on a night-to-night basis. We know they can uplift and propel, and I've been talking, like, this Buffalo team is nowhere near the talent of Baltimore. Like, Baltimore is a clearly better team. This Buffalo team, that defense is awful. It's, like, legitimately terrible. But with these two guys, it matters come January. It matters come December, because we know their ceiling in the regular season is at minimum top 5, top 4 in the world. We know they're constant MVP candidates, and I think what they do in the playoffs, that's what can propel them to one. I still think Mahomes he's just coming off a Super Bowl, like a Super Bowl appearance. So,
though.
Yeah, no, definitely ask one, but he beat both our guys.
He did.
So, like, he just beat both our guys. Lost in the Super Bowl.
He just lost to the Chargers.
He did just lose, but he played a great that game. So I ain't going to
0-2 in his last 2.
I can't let him lose that spot just because he lost to the Chargers and my guy, had a great game, because he just beat both of those guys.
Now, Riv, I remember when you said that Josh Allen was going to have a Michael Jordan-esque year, where he was going to rattle off MVP, where he was going to win a Super Bowl.
He should have won that.
To be honest, your take should have been golden.
He didn't win that year, but I do think that Josh Allen
Mickey Mouse
has the talent of. He's as talented as any quarterback in NFL history. And I think these quarterbacks constantly getting compared to each other, I think minimizes the greatness of each of them. And we try to nitpick and cherry pick things that are wrong about them. One thing I will say about Josh Allen, I'm glad the narrative has changed from 2023, when in 2023, he was second in the league in interceptions, only behind Sam Howell. But if you look at turnover-worthy percentage play, he had a 3% turnover-worthy play percentage, which was towards the bottom of the league, which means it's good. If you're towards the bottom of the league, that means it's good. He ranked 34th out of 39 quarterbacks that qualified, which means that despite the interception numbers, he was not a turnover-prone quarterback. And there was a narrative on him that he was a turnover-prone quarterback, and he costed the Bills in games because of that. I always thought that was false, and then we've seen the numbers at least be cleaned up for him, but really, it's not even that the numbers have been cleaned up with him. I just think that he was unlucky that 2023 year, and a lot of his interceptions were grenades down the field. It's basically like a third down punt, where we know we're going to punt it anyway, let me just take a shot down the field. Those were most of his turnovers and where they came from. He had the fourth most fourth quarter passing yards by a quarterback since 2000. And I think his performance was Superman-like, and it solidified, to me at least, that he is, without a doubt, the second best quarterback in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He is. That's what it solidified to me.
Patrick Mahomes, when was the last time he looked as good as Josh Allen did yesterday? I'm not trying to joke. How many years has it been?
Damn.
All I do know is that in 2022,
that's your answer right there.
2022, he had an MVP year,
I can't do this
and
shit.
he won a Super Bowl. From 2018 to 2022, he was the number one graded pocket passer in the NFL.
Best in the world.
He's
Mahomes.
talking about
without a
Mahomes,
doubt.
bro.
Yeah.
Like,
2022 is
Patrick Mahomes in 2023.
It's a perfect year.
In 2023, the year after
heard it
2022,
so many
he
times.
was the third highest graded quarterback according to PFF.
And this is where I can never shake the hate for Lamar. He fucked us, man.
What, losing?
2023 is the fucking year.
Oh, finally, good play.
We needed him.
And Mahomes was first in QBR in 2023, as well in the playoffs. He was. And he came back against the Niners, and I thought that was an all-time performance. 2024, his down season, Mahomes' down season was 4,990 total yards and 35 touchdowns. That is his down season. And I think if you want to say Allen and Lamar have had better regular seasons than them, I think that's a fair statement.
They definitely have.
But overall, what I think
regular
is that
season for sure.
No, you're not wrong. It's just I love when you say
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, when they meet in the playoffs, Mahomes averages more yards per game. He averages more touchdowns per game. He has more touchdowns. He has a better passer rating. He outplays Josh Allen every time that they go up against each other.
Every time is cap.
There
Every time is cap.
2021.
More times than not, yes.
2021 did Mahomes play better than Josh?
You can point to one instance where you felt like Allen outplayed Mahomes.
And it's 2021.
And that was a moment that I also felt like Allen might have played Mahomes. But then in reflecting in that moment, because I always watch the highlights of that game every other month because I think it's an all-time game. It's one of the best games of all time.
Yo, you are worse than LeBron James.
I don't just watch it for Mahomes. I watch it for Josh Allen because whenever I meet somebody,
no, that's when he was pushing the Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league.
When I meet somebody that is new to football, I tell them, have you watched the best game that's ever been played?
How often does that happen?
It happened with Jess.
Okay.
It happened with my cousin upstairs who he never watched the game and I thought it was crazy. And I show them these games and that's how I end up watching it again.
I thought you were talking like the cash register at Target. Like, yo, we'll go watch this game.
It might be the best game of all time.
And then whenever that game is close to ending, I say, damn, they really thought with 13 seconds left they won. And then Mahomes, no room for error, makes 2 plays in a row to get them into field goal range. That is the stuff of legend. And not saying Josh Allen isn't the stuff of legend because all of his playoff stats per game are number 2 all time. But there's just one guy that's ahead of him, and it's just Mahomes.
It's literally your fault.
That's it.
The thing is, I'm not surprised at anything he's saying. A lot of what he's saying is also fact.
But you had to rile him up. Now he's talking
I
about
didn't
Mahomes
rile him
for
up.
20
All
minutes.
I said was
Yes,
15 is really great. 15's number 2 or 3. I'm fine with that.
No, once
Closer
you
to
ask,
3 than 1, probably.
The moment you asked when has he genuinely had a game, it turned from the fuck up, and now he's been on a 20-minute rant.
All right, not Joel. Asking you guys.
No, we were with you, but we didn't say anything.
When is the last time?
Years, decades.
Yo, it has been
centuries.
I'm trying to think of the last time he looked like that.
That? Who's done that though?
I mean, in the Super Bowl against the Eagles, the first time he was elite.
250 in a quarter?
Not.
I mean, Josh Allen yesterday, that was one of the best individual performances you're ever going to see. You know, so even to Mahomes' standard, that would have been Mahomes one of the best games he has ever had too.
Everybody.
So I don't think. I mean,
maybe not even Tua though. Tua might have had a better game than that. 5 yards.
That Baltimore game.
How many touchdowns did he have?
6.
Wow. Okay, so
he was.
You can have
electric.
better games
That was the
individually.
fourth quarter comeback too, just like Josh's was. But I mean, we were talking about the 13-second. Talking about the 13-second thing. Where Mahomes came back at the end of the first half, it felt like the same thing. Where the Ravens took down the clock to I forgot exactly how much time, but the Bills had 2 or 3 plays, got right into field goal range, and it felt like that was so inconsequential at the time. But in the back of your head, like those 3 points are probably going to matter.
That's a fact,
and it absolutely did because obviously the Bills go on to win, but. I mean, all 3 of these guys. I think Mahomes, what he has over the other 2 is what we're saying. Just in the playoffs, he has the 2 rings, or excuse me, the 3 rings. In the playoffs, even though Josh has great stats and Lamar has been better these last couple of seasons, if you look at some of the advanced stats, he's been better than these guys. Mahomes has the whole package. He has the regular season success. He has the Super Bowls. He has the consistent performances in the playoffs. And he beats these guys in the playoffs, right? So
all of them.
It's really difficult to put either of these guys over Mahomes unless you're just talking the regular season. Because in the regular season, they both, in my opinion, been the last 2 years like in a tier of their own, including Patrick Mahomes, including Joe Burrow, including all of these guys. Josh Allen and Lamar have been quite comfortably to me in like a tier of their own God alien quarterbacks. More likely than not, we're going to have an all-time offense. We're going to be, beating teams by 20 plus points. That's the other part of the John Harbaugh stuff is he's blown all of these leads, but the Ravens have also had the most 10 and 20 point leads. So it's the chicken or the egg, right? Like you go up by a lot because you're so dominant, which also means you could blow some of these leads too, not to take it away from him. But it's just that's how dominant the Ravens have been. It's like there's a lot of times where they just blow the teams the fuck out. And we talked about it. The Chiefs, that's not their game. Like the Chiefs are going to be in 1 possession games. They're going to be in 1 score games. They're going to be in ugly games just because I think number one, Mahomes with his legs is not as explosive as either of these guys, and he's not utilized as Lamar or Josh Allen. And the other thing is they don't have a consistent, for the Ravens side, he doesn't have a damn Derrick Henry, right? Like he doesn't have a guy that is on any given night the other best player in football alongside Lamar or alongside Josh Allen. So I feel like any given Sunday, all three of these guys can be the best quarterback in the world. But I don't think until one of these guys really surplants Mahomes, and even if they do it one time, you're going to have a whole laundry list of history for this that says, I'm still going to take Mahomes, and I can't be mad at you. So Mahomes just has such a runway right now that even with one Super Bowl for either of these guys, it can't just be signed and sealed. Oh, he's the best.
Somebody tweeted Joe Burrow got an elite PR status on here. That boy put up some baby shit yesterday, and I haven't seen a people.
Bro, they had 4 yards in the second half.
Yeah, no, he was dog shit.
They had 4 yards.
Can I say this?
We had a healthy offseason. We gonna start the year strong.
What?
They won the game.
4 yards?
No, they were
He
dog
did not
shit.
win the game.
They were dog shit.
No,
But I'm saying, no, they won against the Bengals.
yeah, for sure. Because Joe
And Shamar
Flacco's
Stewart
receivers
played well. The
so
defense
good.
They
sealed the
played the
game.
worst team in football,
Hey,
man.
listen, they
And Joe was
lost.
dying.
They
shit.
lost
Joe
that game.
Flacco looked good.
They lost that game
feel-
last year.
yo.
Last year they lost that game.
Let me say this.
Harold Fann's a star.
We talk about the one Super Bowl moving the needle for one quarterback over the other.
He has 3.
If Lamar Jackson wins
He does.
the Super Bowl last season, we arguably are talking about the greatest season ever.
If.
Well, he wouldn't have gotten MVP. Which would have hurt.
Which
2 years ago.
Which we understand.
the
No,
hell
I
was
don't
we?
give a fuck about 2 years ago. Last year
we?
was one of
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
single
for sure.
greatest seasons ever.
Shit, it's a shame that you can't do it in the playoffs.
I will
but-
say, the Josh Allen game last night stamped his MVP last year. Because last year he wasn't better. But you know what? All right, this game, you got
I mean, he's better the year before.
What's
Basically,
insane
proves
because-
that it's not him winning MVP. I mean, he was deserved, like what he did. You know what I'm saying? And it is deserved. I think with all these players, I
He made a
think
TikTok saying Lamar was robbed.
I think Lamar
was.
should have won MVP. He was. Lamar should have won MVP.
Riv, that's why I
He
said
was.
we all understand
Yo!
that
Lamar
Lamar
should win
season-
MVP.
He should have. He was first team All Pro.
But that shit don't mean nothing.
What? It almost actually means everything. Because every
shit don't
time
mean
it
nothing,
is.
bro.
Tom
shit
Brady,
don't mean-
low-key, was first team All Pro and didn't win it. Rodgers did.
Yeah,
There's
that shit
only
don't mean
not
nothing.
even-
bro.
99% of the
two-
time.
Those are the same people that vote for MVP.
There's
I
been
know
two
that was
why it's
instances.
nuts.
but like, what is going
Fuck you
on in
want me
their
to do about
head?
it?
There's
We
been
got
two
one.
There's some
instances
consistency.
where a second
You're right,
team
I
All
agree.
Pro has
needed
won the MVP over the first
shit
team All
else.
Pro. One of those instances was Peyton Manning and Steve McNair, and
We
it was
co-MVP.
co-MVP. It wasn't
wouldn't
even
have
like
hated
one got
that.
lost. It was co-MVP. So that's why for me, I do think Lamar Jackson had the better season, but I think Josh Allen. I mean, I don't even with Lamar having that season, I never thought he was better than Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's better. He has 25 touchdowns and 4 interceptions in the playoffs. Josh Allen is near flawless in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Last year, who was better?
Those first 3
In the
years are
play- I
carrying.
thought-
No.
Josh
I
Allen.
just mean like as a whole, like the whole year. Lamar was the best.
Y'all
quarterback in the
really
league.
loud about this Rob shit, but was real quiet when Lamar got that Mickey ass mouse MVP the second time.
He did.
It really boggles my mind.
I was loud
because-
about that. I said Josh was my
because it's
MVP.
really funny
Josh
how-
Allen should have won that.
I
one.
said Josh was my MVP.
Like, if anything, we even at this point. We're
I agree.
even as hell
I
right
agree.
now. Like,
But
you know what I'm saying?
last year was an all-time year.
Fine, that's fine.
But
Lamar's
last year
year
was-
before was dog. Not,
Okay,
wait.
all right.
Was very pedestrian in terms of an MVP.
I'm not saying that Josh Allen didn't have a case because he did. What I'm saying is
You
that
say somebody gets robbed.
Yes, because
Lamar was robbed.
Based on the facts that the same voters that vote on All Pro and the MVP, the same voters voted Lamar as the better player that year,
I don't know
but
what
didn't
you're
vote
talking
him as the MVP.
There's something fishy going
That's
on.
why I said he was robbed, because all those same voters said Lamar is the best quarterback in football, but he is not the MVP.
I would check those
and
voters'
I don't
best
think
lists, man.
I don't think that's
Yo,
factually
I'm
consistent.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest. Shit don't make sense.
But here's
to
the
me.
thing, though,
But
is
we
that
got one.
I think right now
Needed it.
we have 3
Needed it.
quarterbacks. One in Mahomes, who he's already in the top 5
but he
all-time
falling off.
conversation.
Top 5 for sure.
And then we have Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, who with a Super Bowl, and that's a big achievement. So I'm not trying to act like it's just
They should
they
win
just
one.
get one though, because it's really hard to get it.
Definitely should
But
get
they
one.
are top 10 quarterbacks all time if they get one.
Lamar might be like top 5.
That is like, it cements their legacy to a point that it is that's why they're starving for it. That's why that's all that matters to them, because that solidifies them all time in history. And then of course for the Bills, it would be the first Super Bowl ever. Like that would be special for Buffalo.
Absolutely.
Really special.
I agree.
Especially after losing 4 in a row and then winning. So that would be special, but of course for Lamar Jackson too. Especially what he said on draft night when he said that he wants to win the Ravens Super Bowl. Like, all those things I think make it a really good story for all of these quarterbacks.
You know those clips after a team wins the Super Bowl, like the commercial right after they win? Lamar's
gonna
would
go crazy.
be...
He's gonna get his, man. I got so much confidence.
I got goosebumps thinking about how
get
good it
his
could
before
be.
we get ours.
Nah, he will.
What do you think about Nick Wright saying that Lamar is the James Harden of the NFL?
Nick Wright is the most hated man in my life.
It's sad because
He might be
for
right.
one sport, I love Nick Wright.
Basketball?
I love Nick Wright. In the other, I want nothing to do with
God.
him. Nothing.
He's definitely, he's not a Lamar fan. I'm not a fan of his. Or even.
There's no validity to that point.
He's a cheese. James Harden?
Hey, what
Elite regular season player doesn't play
MVP
2 months.
player?
So if Lamar's not a good regular postseason player, what's Josh been the last few years? Because the stats say Lamar's been better.
You really...
He's literally cooking.
He has one stat. It's
Yo, my
literally
bad.
one stat.
No,
my
no,
bad.
it
Josh
is-
Allen's the best quarterback in the league.
It's one. It's it's literally one stat that says Lamar's better.
Yeah, I mean,
because we
it's probably-
did
it's
all
probably
the numbers. It's
probably
one
the most,
stat.
It's probably the most important number. PPA per play.
Calm down. Don't lose me,
Probably the most
Dells.
important number.
Don't lose me.
I mean, James Harden's a Hall of Famer, dude.
Yeah, so's Lamar.
There's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
I
that.
hate that like James Harden's like used as a punchline for
As a
disrespect.
It is. It is.
Could
It
be
is.
my fucking goat.
But the farthest that Harden
Couldn't be my
went
goat.
was the conference finals. And the farthest Lamar's went so far as the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Imagine-
For now.
Because
imagine-
people used to call Lamar the Embiid of the NFL, but it's not consistent.
That's Josh Allen.
Because
Got past
Embiid,
that.
Whoa,
Well,
that's
no,
not Josh Allen.
Allen's been to the
It's
conference
the best in the league.
Allen's actually good in the playoffs.
You're cooking.
Exactly.
And he actually
And
gets
he's
it
been
far.
to
It's not even
Get
close.
multiple.
Conference
Yeah, don't
championship.
ever. Oh.
That's on me. Sorry,
Joel
Josh.
Embiid
You're
is
goated.
Great against
Sorry,
the
bro. It
Knicks.
was the MVP.
got that wrong.
But after last night,
Oh,
the
serious.
MVP's his. Like he
Joel
earned
Embiid
it.
is like, I don't know who would he be. Damn, who would he be? Maybe Joe Burrow.
He didn't win
no,
MVP.
no, he can't be Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow went to the fucking Super Bowl. And then
Damn.
It's hard.
Yo,
There's really
Matt
no
Ryan.
comparison. Matt Ryan went to Super Bowl.
Yeah, we can't find. I don't think we can find an Embiid.
I don't know.
No, you can't.
Justin Herbert, bang.
No
He never won no
MVP.
MVP.
Well, we gotta just say fuck the MVP. 'Cause
You got to win an
It's
MVP
important.
for this to be
important.
valid.
That's the closest to him. Doesn't play well in the playoffs.
Dan Marino, but he went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Herbert's probably the closest, but he doesn't have shit.
And Dan
No,
Marino
I mean,
clears.
Embiid is a complete outlier because what other MVP of the league has never been to the
Like
conference
Embiid's
finals?
been better in the playoffs than Herbert
In the
has.
NBA. Like
but
in
his
the NBA
drop-offs all
only.
You know what I mean? So's
Yeah.
Herbert's.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a fact.
I'd love for someone to comment to tell me an MVP that has never been to the conference finals in the NBA.
It's
I don't think it exists.
Damn, yeah.
Derrick Rose, did he go to the ECF? His
That same year,
Yeah,
yeah.
fact.
He did. So I
I
mean
don't
that's
think.
crazy.
Damn. Honestly, it's just hate to be him.
Steve Nash went to the WCF, right?
Multiple times.
All right, let's get on to the next storyline. Are the Packers Super Bowl contenders?
That offense got to get cleaned up. The offense got to get cleaned up, and the answer is yes.
Zach Tom came back to the game, right?
He did.
Okay.
I'm in the middle with it.
I'm
was
in
the
the
first
I'm
te-
in the middle with
That
it
was
too.
the first test and they passed. I'm in the middle with it.
They're definitely Super Bowl contenders.
They're contenders.
They're done.
Nothing wrong
I
with
love
that.
the fact that the question for them the entire offseason was, can you win a game in your division against the Lions or Vikings?
Can you win a big game?
And then the first game of the season, they whoop the Lions.
well,
behind.
in between that, they added a top 5 defensive player in the world.
The way they look right now, they would have won that game without Micah too.
Maybe. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Michael was pretty
He was
awesome,
awesome,
that
but-
game.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying Michael wasn't awesome, but that defensive line, even when Michael was out because he was on a snap count, Rashawn Gary had all his sacks when Michael was out.
I love what I saw from Rashawn, man. That really excited me.
Rashawn Gary was amazing. Devontae Wyatt was amazing. Lucas Van Ness was amazing. Edgerrin Cooper was amazing. Evan Williams was amazing. Micah Parsons and his snaps was amazing. I think what they did to add Micah in the Florida defense, this is when he was on the field. They allowed -2 rushing yards when Micah was on the field. Goff had a 2.80 time to throw when Micah was on the field. 3.36 when Micah was off. 29 snaps when Micah was in the game. He sacked Goff 3 times and only allowed 2.4 yards per play. This is a top 10 defense that got Micah, and I think now they're going to be in the conversation for the best defense in the world.
They feasted on that offensive line.
I look at the top end NFC competition, and I really think that the Eagles are their biggest competition because I just don't see any other NFC team having the offensive line to go up against Micah and everybody else on that Packers defensive line. I think the Rams pose a great threat, but I also think that the Rams, they can't guard them, but they also have Jared Verse. They also have Kobe Turner. So the Rams are no slouch either. So that's another team that I'll put in this tier. But with Philadelphia, we've seen their offense go up against a Jeff Hafley called defense twice. And I thought the offense has struggled twice against them. In the first game of the season in Brazil and in the playoffs. Specifically, I thought Jalen Hurts struggled in both games. I did. So to me,
thank you for cleaning that up.
I think that the Packers against the Eagles can make Jalen Hurts struggle. And I think that's the way to beat them. They have an elite run defense. I think they're more well-equipped to be better against the run this year as well. And then this always gets left out of the conversation when we always bring up the Eagles and Packers playoff game. Romeo Doubs didn't play. Jaden Reed didn't play. Christian Watson didn't play. These are the three top receivers on the team. These are the three top receivers. I mean, my goodness. Any team loses their three top receivers, they're going to look bad on offense. Yeah, but these are the three better receivers in the league.
Matthew Golden's the best receiver on that team.
But you know, last year in the playoffs, they didn't have three of the best ones.
No, Dobbs is solid.
You know who looked good yesterday too? Dontavian.
He did.
He looked good.
He did. Because every other year he is able to catch the ball. Starting center Josh Myers didn't play in that game. Elton Jenkins didn't play in that game. And Devontae Wyatt didn't play in that game. The Packers had 7 starters injured in the playoffs.
Well, Romeo Doubs did play in that game.
Romeo Doubs left early then probably.
There we go.
Exactly.
Let's
but
adjust.
really for the most
Christian Watson doesn't really play anyways.
But
no offense to him.
He tore his ACL. That's why
banking on Christian Watson is a bit of a not call.
But Christian Watson, I mean, he was huge for their offense because if I could stretch the field
Jaden
vertically.
Reed did play this game.
In the playoff game?
Yes.
How many snaps?
Can't tell you, but he had 4 receptions, 46 yards.
Okay. I would like to know the snap count. Maybe Google Gemini lied to me.
That happens.
Sometimes
Google Gemini.
you can't trust the AI. Sometimes you have to just click on the website and look deeper.
It's all good.
I do know that receivers and they were injured.
You missed
in that
a lot
game.
of players.
Exactly. They missed a lot of players. I don't think the Eagles went up against a healthy Packers team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Packers still put up a fight for most of that game.
He played 55% of snaps.
I thought that in
less than half the game.
Yeah.
A little bit more than half the game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that is, you should be playing more snaps than that. So
I agree.
In that game,
70% snap.
And that game started off with a fumble in a kick return in the very beginning of the game. So I think that the Eagles did not go up against a healthy Packers team. I think the Packers offense is even better this year. I think their defense is even better this year. And I do think the Packers, not only Super Bowl contenders, I think they're going to win the whole thing this year. I think this is the year for Green Bay. And
I hope so.
The biggest question mark for this team. The biggest question mark for them is that offense, and is Jordan Love being able to step up in moments and limit the decision making, his bad decision making in crucial moments, because we saw what he did against San Fran. But the thing with Jordan Love is that I really believe in his talent and his ability. And I do think Jordan Love is also a quarterback capable of going on a playoff run where he looks like one of the very best quarterbacks in the world. And I don't think I could say that for a lot of other quarterbacks, but that's how high I am on him. Ultimately, the floor of this defense has been raised to elite levels. And what I saw in that first game and how they dismantled Detroit, with Edger and Cooper playing a game that he played, I mean, this is an all-around defense that not only can stop the run, but because that pass rush gets home so quickly, that secondary now doesn't have to cover for as long as they used to last year. And I think overall, we're looking at a team that I think is going to win the NFC North, and I think is a team that also has a real chance to win the entire NFC and be the number 1 seed in the NFC too.
I'm sorry, Rick.
Yeah, because I like how he loves to rewrite the history of that playoff game and swear up and down that it was close when the Green Bay Packers did not score until the third quarter. And it was 3 points, and the score would have been 29-10 if Saquon Barkley didn't dive at the end of the game after breaking off a run to score a touchdown. Not to mention, the Romeo Doubs and Jaden Reed played over 50% of snaps. So this whole revisionist history with the game was closer than what, the first game was closer than what you like. The first game was definitely in the hunt. That playoff game was not close, bro.
It was the closest not close game.
Yeah,
in the
it was
history.
like
It was a little tense.
Yeah, like
That's
bro,
all.
y'all wasn't scoring ever. Like y'all scored 3 points, but I will say
22-10 just seems like a close playoff game.
it would have like I said, it would have been 20 because you love that context. It would have been 29-10.
Especially when the first play of the game they had a fumble.
That's your
I'm
fault.
gonna say Nixon is one of the best returners in football too.
You fucking fumbled. What are you
So
like?
what was
It
your-
does
So
happen. It happens.
But we're
What
talking.
should we put 7 points on the Packers board for it?
No, I'm
he
not saying
fumbled.
7 points, but I'm saying that unfortunately start to the game is swayed the momentum. of it.
100%. Don't fumble.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think that
What's
that
this?
changed the game
Is
a
this
lot.
topic? Are the Packers better than the Eagles, or is it they're a Super Bowl contender?
Well, he definitely
they're
only
Super Bowl
called out the
contenders.
Eagles.
Okay,
because
yeah.
that's who I think they need to
to
beat.
realistically,
to make it.
when you think of contenders in the NFC, you kind of stop yourself because you really put them up against. Can they beat the Philadelphia Eagles?
Exactly.
No,
and I
I
do
think
think they
so,
could beat the
but I
Philadelphia
just-
Eagles. And I think that last in the playoffs, I'm not saying the Eagles weren't the better team. The Eagles were the better team.
Start
I
to
know they
finish.
were the better
By a
team.
lot.
But I'm just saying that the Packers, it was a close game. It was a sluggish game. And that offense
definitely
struggled
sluggish.
in that playoff game.
Close nuts. Sluggish.
It was
yes.
definitely sluggish.
I also want to say this in reference to the game yesterday. I think the offense did take their foot off the gas in the second half because there was such a comfortable lead and because the defense really was allowing nothing for Detroit to do. In the fourth quarter, I don't think Jordan Love passed the ball. I think he only had 23 pass attempts, and in the fourth quarter, majority of the script at the end was give the ball to Josh Jacobs, and Jordan Love had a scramble or two. They were just running the clock out. So this game with Jordan Love evaluating the offense was really quarters 1 through 3. In quarters 1, I thought, wow, maybe they are the contender. Maybe they are the team to be in the AFC. But then as the game went on, the offense kind of got a little bit stagnant. Jordan Love had a couple errant throws. The receivers also, Jaden Reed dropped that ball on the sideline. I wasn't overly moved by this offense, especially because the run game wasn't as prolific as we saw last season. But you're going up against Detroit, one of the better rush defenses over these last couple of years. That was to be expected because they knew Josh Jacobs would be huge in the game plan. This defense was incredible. It was amazing. And I can get on board with them being contenders off of what we saw from that defense because not many teams made the Detroit Lions offense look pedestrian. Yes, they lost both their coordinators. Yes, they lost Ben Johnson. Yes, they have different offensive line play, but it's still the same skill position players and the same quarterback. And they made them look like they didn't deserve to be on a football field. The Packers are legit. I just wonder how that offense looks against the upper echelon defense, how it looks against the Eagles, how it looks against the Rams. Because right now I still do favor the Rams. Right now I still do favor the Eagles. That defense can get better. It's true. Because Micah Parsons was injured for a majority of this offseason, and it was just him getting comfortable game 1, and he was incredible. The offense can get better as well. As Matthew Golden gets a little bit more associated with the offense and integrated more and gets a little bit more consistent, Josh Jacobs gets a little bit more loose. Jordan Love gets more comfortable. He was recovering from a thumb injury this offseason, thumb surgery, if I'm not mistaken, on his throwing hand. There is room for improvement for the Packers. And that's saying that after they just dominated the team that ran the North.
So sorry, let me correct it. In the 2025 wildcard game, the Green Bay Packers had several key injuries. Christian Watson was out, obviously. But several other players, including TJ Slayton, Quay Walker, and Jaden Reed, who suffered dislocated shoulder during the game, were limited by injuries, while Romeo Doubs and Josh Myers also left the game with injuries.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
So
but I
they
just
weren't
think,
out for the game, but they left
They
the
left.
game with injuries.
yeah,
Yes.
I mean, this Packers team, it's different than last year. It's better than last year, right? So, like, we could look at that game and be like, yeah, it was sluggish, but,
You hate to see it.
But I think if the Packers, pick 6, that's nuts. I think if the Packers just ran back the same roster from last year, we wouldn't be having this conversation. That's why I'm like, I don't really need to look at last year's team and be like, oh, it was sluggish and that, because they're both two different teams. The Packers got better, and as far as I'm concerned, I think the Eagles got worse. Like, I think what we saw on the first game of the season against Dallas should be a big concern from Eagles fans on both sides of the ball. Obviously, losing Jalen Carter has a part in that, but CB2 is going to be a concern. And I did not like the scheme from what I saw in that first game. It was very predictable. It was pretty bland. There was nothing that made me excited about the offense. So I think that gap certainly has closed, right? Like the last year, the Eagles more or less were in a tier of their own in the NFC, right? Like it was the Eagles and it was everybody else. And when the Rams got hot in the second half of the season, we're like, they're probably the biggest contenders. And they had the closest game against Philadelphia. Of course, that turned into a snowstorm, so things got a little wonky there. But that was a real tight, close game that really came down to the wire. Green Bay has everything you could want, though, right? Like they have a defense that is elite, and they just added one of the best defenders in football who can rush the passer, isn't even 100%, and was still winning reps against Penei Sewell, who's one of the best tackles in football. On the offensive side, you have a top-tier running back. You have a quarterback that can make big play. Jordan Love is a top 10 quarterback, borderline top 10 quarterback. I don't think he's in the Matthew Stafford conversation.
No, because he did this to me. So last week, Jordan Love was not top 10.
I say he's borderline top 10
But
quarterback.
He changed it right after that.
But today,
I just said borderline top 10
No,
quarterback.
he had to.
He said borderline top 10 quarterback.
He had to change it right after that.
He's a borderline top 10
He knows his
quarterback.
top 10.
He's a borderline top 10 quarterback. And you have Matt LaFleur, who I've been a big fan of. So I think when you're talking about a team that could win a Super Bowl, you have all the ingredients there. You have everything you want, maybe outside of, a possible real wide receiver one, which maybe Matthew Golden turns into that. I think from the first week, you have to be at least impressed from what you saw. And you have some nice, ancillary pieces around the side. Romeo Doubs, Watson comes back, Tucker Kraft and whatnot. But this Packers team is as good as anyone in the NFC. There's no reason we should be looking at this roster and saying they're anything less than a Super Bowl contender. If you want to say favorite, I wouldn't be mad at that. It is hard as hell to go back-to-back, let alone win a Super Bowl, but get back to the Super Bowl. So the odds tell you that the Eagles probably aren't getting back there as much as we might love their roster and Jalen Hurts and an elite defense and everything like that. NFL history shows you're probably not going to do it unless you have Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. So the odds are already in their favor. I think week one, they made probably the biggest statement out of any team. Like the Bills probably the most impressive performance, but I think all thought that's a 50-50 game. It could go either way. I think most of us took the Packers. Maybe all of us took the Packers, but that was a dominating win. Like that was start to finish. They shut down the best or one of the best offenses in football last year. And they had multiple drives on the other side where they went right down the field and scored with ease. So if we did power rankings right now, the Packers are probably like a top 4 or 5 team. That's how great they looked in week one.
A couple things you said. Just a couple things you said. First of all, I love the overreaction of week ones because the same way how you just said how the Eagles didn't look like they don't look like a Super Bowl team week one, they didn't look like a Super Bowl team weeks 1 through 4 last year.
Nope.
It took them 5 weeks because I'll say they had to buy. So it took them 5 weeks to figure it out. And now we're sitting here once again, young defense, same coordinator, new offensive coordinator. Week one, they don't look like a Super Bowl contender. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction because I think you have to give them time to gel. But I will say Green Bay, we all agree, made a statement, punched Detroit in the mouth. Still want to see how that wide receiving core looks down the stretch. But like I said before, I think that was a statement win. I think that's their first big statement win. I think they're going to have them more because we play Green Bay down the stretch. I think we played them week 9 or week 10, something like that. Yeah. So Green Bay's
get back.
Like Green Bay is going to have a couple big time games where they're going to be able to continuously make a statement. But I would say first week, easily. Michael Parsons didn't even play a ton too. Like he was still dealing with an injury. So when he gets fully integrated, he gets fully healthy. That's going to be a guy you can easily add. It's going to get spooky. It's going to get scary. Also, Dallas, like you said before, Detroit lost half of their offensive line in the offseason, lost both their coordinators, different offense. Green Bay was prepared. Detroit wasn't. But I would say put them in the contenders. I think we all had them, tier 2 before the Michael Parsons trade. Tier 1 is probably Eagles, Rams, Green Bay, around the same teams because the Rams, you gotta respect that offense, that offensive line. First of all, Rams versus Green Bay, the trench work. I'm excited to see how that's gonna look.
Fact.
Rams defensive line versus Green Bay's offensive line. Rams offensive line versus Green Bay's defensive line. Because what the Texans defensive line did to that Rams offensive line was food. They really imposed their will. I do think Green Bay probably has, if not the same talent, more talent. So that's gonna be an interesting thing. But I do think the Rams defensive line is also really good. So probably top 3, probably those 3 teams.
You told me JJ was better than Bo Nix.
Hey, maybe I was wrong.
You said that out loud.
Hey, I wasn't a Packers fan then.
Oh my God.
No, yeah. There was Vikings fans that when I told you they annoying interactions, one of the most annoying interactions was wasn't even the insults. I get more insults when people insult Jordan Love than me, to be honest. And one of the tweets was like, nobody in the NFC North is scared of playing Jordan Love. That should tell you everything you need to know about him as a quarterback. And I thought that was so stupid because I know Jordan Love's a great quarterback. So I don't care if you're scared of playing him or not. I know that he's a great player. So then I just tweeted right now, Vikings fans told me nobody's scared of Jordan Love.
Nobody's
Who the hell scared of JJ McCarthy?
I'm dead.
Like, let's be real. Who the hell scared of JJ McCarthy?
What Sam put up week 1? He had a great week 1 last year, right?
Yeah, he probably
Yeah,
did.
he played
The Giants.
Oh, they did play the Giants.
I'm telling you, man, it's the Vikings curse, but it's only week 1, so who knows? But this is not a good start.
Yeah, not great.
It would be good to. I have a tweet in mind, maybe later.
They need like 2 easy ones.
Yeah.
Jordan Love first career
3rd and
game,
13.
JJ McCarthy first career game. Look at their stats.
Gotta hike the ball, man. That's a delay of game.
That's a delay as hell.
Yeah, 3rd and 18, or they call it timeout.
Okay, so next storyline.
3rd and 18.
Packers made a statement. Did Aaron Rodgers make a statement against the Jets?
No. No. Like, no.
He
Why
did.
is it a
No,
no?
he didn't.
He definitely did.
What's
dude.
the statement?
statement?
You can
Is that
kill
he's
the
not
Jets?
washed.
You don't become not washed because of one game.
You know what's the
The
statement,
Jets
Drew?
defense was supposed to be like their backbone again this
It
year.
hasn't been their backbone in
Drew,
some
you
time.
want
I
to know
agree
what's
with
the
you, though.
statement? I'll let you know what the statement is right now.
It's probably going to
The
be a statement
statement
that doesn't make sense.
Is that Aaron Glenn flew him out just to tell him that you're not a fit for the team. Both better off without each other. That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Everybody thought Aaron Rodgers was washed to the point that Rivers telling me that a JJ McCarthy was better than Aaron Rodgers at quarterback this upcoming season because Aaron Rodgers just isn't that good anymore. And the fact that Aaron Rodgers in his first game as a Steeler had the best passer rating by a Steeler quarterback over the last 7 seasons.
That's not
And the
hard to
fact that
do.
he had 4 touchdowns against Aaron Glenn's coach defense,
Against
the same
the
coach
Jets.
that told them that he wasn't a fit for the team. The fact
He's
that
not.
Aaron Rodgers played a great football game against them and they ended up winning the game.
Okay.
That is a
All right.
statement.
So
he
if-
gave
okay.
it to his former
So
team.
if he plays great today, if he goes on 5 shitters, are you going to say the statement is still standing or the statement is back to
No,
no,
the
he's
statement is
washed?
against the
I was gonna
Jets.
say, but bro, it's only been one game, and that in that one game against his old team, he was excellent.
Yeah, he was great.
But that's it. What he made a statement to them.
Did you think
Fuck
Aaron
you.
Rodgers was washed?
That game?
No, I'm so after last season, did
Yes.
you come into this year saying he's
98%
washed?
of the world thought he was washed. 30 teams thought he was washed.
It's no indictment on you for being wrong, whether he's right or washed or not. He still could be washed. Don't get me wrong, he can be.
I don't think like for a guy who had a full season's worth, they had expectations.
You're cooking.
He did not play well against
He
good
didn't.
competition.
He didn't.
We saw his statistics go up end of the year because they played bad teams.
Mhm.
To go into week 1 into a game we knew they were going to win. We all thought this should be a wash through, except probably Dells. You know,
them.
fandom.
Almost had
But
them.
yeah, we all
Hey,
thought this would
was
be a
almost right.
wash through. For him to go play great, yes, great win. I don't want to diminish what he did. What he did was great. He played well. It's a good starter. But one game cannot just completely say, yo, this was a statement because this was a team. Yeah, they're both better off without each other. I can see it. Justin Fields looked great too. Does this mean this is a statement for his career that, yeah, they should have drafted him? Yeah, he was good all along. He just, no, not yet. He got to
Okay,
put
you're right.
put
You're
together
right.
at least 10.
But
I get
Aaron Rodgers
where you're coming from.
has
So
a
I
history.
can't say for me personally, I can't say this is a
Okay,
statement.
maybe
win.
not for you personally, but Aaron Rodgers has a history of he's a good quarterback.
Yeah,
And
it's
maybe
been a while.
the bad organization is the reason why, he looked like how he looked.
No.
And the reason Aaron Rodgers was bad last year because of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
But
we
why
gotta stop.
why did Justin Fields look good? It's the same
Because
organization.
it's
Because Aaron Rodgers, I
it's
think
the functionality of the Jets right now.
Man.
They have a new coaching staff in place. They have people in place.
this is what happened. The Jets got fucking thirsty. They never had a franchise quarterback. Aaron said, I want to come to New York. And we said, please, Aaron, let's come. When he got here, we said, we'll do anything. You want Alan Lazard? Let's do it. You want Randall Cobb? Let's do it. Nathaniel Hackett stays for a second year. Let's do it. Oh shit, we started off the year 2-4. Fuck, we gotta fire Robert Saleh. We're panicking. The reason why shit hit the fan majority, I think it's because of Aaron Rodgers. It's not so much of his play. His
They
play
even brought in
definitely
Tay for him.
His play definitely has something to do with it. Like I didn't
That was
think
cool.
for a majority
It
of
was dope.
last year, it's ironic how terrible he was in one possession games and he drove down the field. Not even really drove down the field. He got the tip pass and then we stalled him and Boswell had a 60-yard field goal. But most of it has to do because he was basically pseudo GM. Like he was, you know who he loved? He loved Malachi Corley. So did Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh, but so did Aaron Rodgers. Of course, Nathaniel Hackett's probably the biggest issue of it all because Aaron Rodgers looks great. Nathaniel Hackett's gone. Shit, Justin Fields looks great. The Jets offense looks great. So I think part of it was last year, first year back off an Achilles for an older quarterback. You knew, like, obviously we were super high on the Jets, but hindsight 2020, it's not shocking he struggled. Second year back, I'm not surprised that he's playing better. But more than anything, I just think the system that he was in, which is what he wanted, failed him because he had all of this control of the offense. We were the least, we ran the ball the least amount of times because he wanted to check out of every single run. You brought in all of these players for him, majority of them, 80, 90%. I mean, Tim Boyle was on this roster because of him, and he had to play in some damn games for us. So I think the failures with the Jets, obviously the Jets aren't some fucking well-run organization by any means, but they did everything to appease Aaron Rodgers. And a majority of those moves, really all of those moves outside of Tay, who definitely was still good, they were failures.
I agree.
Here's the thing, Noah, about everything that you just said. And I think you're correct about the majority of it because we did allow Aaron Rodgers to come in and then run the organization. And I think that is something at the time it was we. Sorry, I'm still trying to unlearn old habits. At the time, the Jets did have they did want Aaron Rodgers. They wanted to do anything to bring him to the Jets, and he did have his friends come to the team.
I was not mad. I was like,
here's the thing.
Fuck it. He wants Randall Cobb. Here's $4 million.
In the bad moves that we say in hindsight he made, we thought Mike Williams was a good move. He vouched to get Mike Williams here, and we thought Mike Williams at the time was a good move. Devontae Adams, I mean, of course, bringing in a receiver that talent is a good move for the Jets. And here's where I think the Jets season derailed and went off the rails. I think it happened when they fired Robert Saleh.
Sure.
Almost slipped up again there again. Okay, when the Jets fired Robert Saleh, I don't think, and I'm in the minority in this and I know this, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers was the one to tell Woody Johnson to fire Rob Saleh. I think firing Rob Saleh was a Woody Johnson decision. It was an impulsive decision, and he didn't talk with anybody. He just told people this was what he was going to do, and he went and did it. And that's where I think the season derailed, because then not only did we have a new head coach who couldn't run the defense, then we eventually demoted Nathaniel Hackett and we had a new OC. It was just dysfunctional all around. And all I've been saying all offseason long is that if Aaron Rodgers is in a good situation, he can still play quarterback. And I think where the Jets went wrong is expecting a 40-year-old quarterback to uplift a team in a way that he couldn't even do in his final year in Green Bay. You needed to have a great defense around Aaron, and the defense fell off. You needed to have a run game, and the run game was inefficient. You needed to have these things around an older quarterback, and now we'll see if he has it with Pittsburgh, because their defense didn't look good week one, and they were not able to run the ball. They had more yards after contact than they did total yards rushing. So we'll see how it looks like in Pittsburgh. But one thing I did see is an offensive coordinator in Arthur Smith help out a 41-year-old quarterback. Did he get scheme help? Absolutely. Do I think Justin Fields was better than Aaron in that game? Absolutely. But do I also think that Aaron Rodgers proved his statement by last year not being able to handle pressure and make throws? And then in the first game of the season versus the Jets, what did he do? He had pressure and he made throws under pressure, and he looked more mobile. So I do think all the things that we knocked him for last year, at least in the first game of the season, he showed, okay, I could still do this. And I think that's a statement he made.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big, like, it was as big as a Jets-Steelers week one game could be, because it was on both sides, right? I think the Jets obviously have something to prove, not in the sense of like the football world, like, you know, Super Bowl, but in the sense of like, we're a new organization, we're turning the page. They wanted to start that off with a win, obviously didn't get it. But Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he said after the game, he said, I want to beat everyone associated with the Jets, which made me laugh. I think the only thing that pisses me off, and I don't even think Rodgers really meant it by this, is just when people think the Jets did Rodgers wrong, I see it the opposite. Not that Rodgers did the Jets wrong, but I feel like the Jets did everything in their power to make it work. The reality is, if it was gonna work, it would have been that first year when he tore his Achilles, right? That's when the defense was elite. You weren't gonna fire Saleh if they started 2-4. That was the year where if the Jets were really gonna make some noise looking back on it, that was most likely than not. But I don't think I don't understand how you could look at the situation and been like, wow, the Jets really did him wrong. Because even if you want to say like the Aaron Glenn shit, like, okay, would it be better if Aaron Glenn called him on the phone? People have been like, you can't even see him face to face. You see him face to face, like you can make him fly.
Damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Exactly. So I think the Jets
real
are.
winner.
Well, Aaron did go,
that was very real.
Yeah.
Aaron did go on Pat McAfee and said, I would have rather just a text. If
He
you were
did.
just going to say
That's
that.
the thing. Aaron Rodgers said that, but I disagree with him. I think the mature
Aaron told
thing,
him man to man,
Yes.
face to face, you're not coming.
He didn't
back.
like that. He probably was uncomfortable in the situation, which I can
Yo,
get.
listen,
but
bro.
that's
if,
grown man
if,
stuff.
If a man come to you as a man and you don't like the way he did it as a man, why would you go on a show and tell them how you would have liked it as a man?
Yeah, that was pretty.
You know what I'm
not
saying?
manly.
Like, if that's the case, keep it to yourself.
Would anyone been shocked if he did it over text and he goes on Pat McAfee like,
It would have been like, he
you
told me over
couldn't
text.
even tell me
Like,
names,
oh,
man.
he told me. And by the way, in terms of EPA per play, pass EPA, all that good stuff, and pure drop back.
Fields got it.
No, 2024, Aaron Rodgers was at the bottom
Oh,
20.
yeah, no, he
No,
was like
no, we know that.
77
We know
quarterbacks
that.
are on this list.
He was not
He
good.
was in the 50s. Yeah,
70?
77.
what the play minimum he got here?
I didn't put no play minimum.
Yeah.
I didn't put no play because they got 6 plays and shit.
Yeah, you
in
got
here.
Taylor
But
Heineke
put
number
it
one.
like but
he
put
was
it like
he was in like the 20s though. He wasn't like the
bottom
20s.
of the league, dog.
He was in the 20s.
Justin Fields just had a game better than he ever had
He did.
with the Jets.
It's nuts.
Did he make a
The
statement?
Jaguars game?
I don't even remember the
EPA
Jaguars
wise,
game.
Jaguars
EPA
game. We're going.
EPA right now.
Barrel.
Justin Fields is number one.
Bro, we
in
gotta go,
EPA
like-
for dropback.
Who better, Fields or Aaron Rodgers?
Fields, comfortably.
Who better? We love week 1. Who better? I'm asking.
Fields.
I'm rooting for Fields. Don't get me wrong. I really am.
Who won the game?
Oh my god.
Not Aaron
Chris
Rodgers.
Boswell.
Who won
Boss
the game?
did win the game.
Now,
man.
Who
now
made plays
QB
to
wins
win the
matter,
game?
guys.
Yeah.
Now
Who won the
QB wins
game?
matter.
Chris
How many games the
Boswell.
Steelers are going to win this year?
9 and 8, probably. That's just what they do all the time.
I'm moved by the Steelers. That offense was really good.
I mean, the run game definitely concerns me.
Yeah, I
'cause
agree.
I don't have much faith in. Like, I think Warren's a good receiving
So
back.
let me
but
tell you this.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers last year had a better success rate than Dak Prescott
He was awful last year.
and then CJ Stroud.
He's also
CJ
bad.
wasn't good last year.
Okay,
Those
so
are the two names
Yeah,
you
you
can pull.
thought you thought those
What
were
about
going
Bo
to move
Nix?
us?
Better than Bo Nix?
Bo Nix was 18th. EPA per
And
play,
where was Aaron Rodgers?
Rodgers was 21st.
Ouch. Can't even.
Rodgers
better than
was
Bo
above
Nix.
Trevor Lawrence, Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, Bryce Young, Drake May, CJ Stroud, Caleb Williams. Those are like the notable ones. The other ones are like backups and stuff.
Yeah, no, it was a tough year.
I just don't think how, you give CJ all this context, which I think he deserves, but I think Rodgers deserves context for the Jets year last year too.
But I've never not said
The offensive line wasn't good
First
last
of all, I
year.
never not said CJ Stroud was good last year.
I think he was good though. I just think his supporting cast was awful.
All right. Well, your supporting cast could be awful. You can also still not play to the best of your ability. I also think like in Aaron Rodgers' case, which we've talked about a lot, there were cases where he could have won your games. It wasn't because of the offensive line.
Plenty
It wasn't
of
because of the
cases.
wide receiving problem.
How about that
It wasn't because of the
Minnesota game?
coaching
Garrett's
staff.
wide open,
No,
man.
Aaron Rodgers has an
The
opportunity to show
Minnesota
you he
game hurts,
wasn't
but the
washed.
We're not-
Buffalo game also hurts as well.
We're not going to act like Aaron Rodgers didn't throw some beautiful passes in that game.
No,
They got
for
dropped.
sure. He had moments,
did
but
get
there's
dropped.
also moments where he could have
They got
showed you he
dropped.
wasn't washed. Like there was moments and he didn't show you that.
Okay, but
How does
you
this
have
work?
Aaron Rodgers. You're
He's on the
anticipating,
ground. I feel like-
expecting last minute drive. He gets the job
It's
done.
Aaron Rodgers.
Off a ruptured Achilles.
Oh, what
All
the
right, now we're moving needles
It's
again.
it's a big injury.
It's a huge injury.
You
moving
after
goalposts,
the injury,
as you
you
said.
said they was gonna whip the Niners. You
he
did
had
not
20
care about that
20
Well,
injury.
he was a Jets fan at the time, fanatic in
The
him.
49ers had the same amount of wins as the Jets, did they not, last year?
That ain't got nothing to do with. I'm talking about you.
But Brock Purdy was amazing.
No,
Aaron
he
Rodgers
was.
sucked.
You thought he was top 10.
Yeah, and I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
You said he ruptured his Achilles.
Yes.
He did. You believed after the ruptured Achilles, they can still go in and whip the Niners.
At least me personally, I didn't look at Rodgers and think that he was the problem. Now I've said this multiple times,
And I feel like you went in there
I
with-
just think that there were other problems. I think at the top of the line was coaching, the defense, the offensive
That's too
line,
many things in front of Aaron Rodgers.
lack of running game.
That's too many things in front of Aaron Rodgers.
Like to me, but that wasn't his fault though. He can only control what he can control.
And he couldn't control the fact that he wasn't good.
But he can't control the fact that the offensive line did not play well, and
Fair.
he got quick pressure.
Fair.
As
for
the
an older
season went on,
quarterback.
the offensive line got better and better.
And as the season went on, an older quarterback coming off a ruptured Achilles played much better.
And what happened as the season went on? What did the schedule start to look
It
like?
was nice. It was a
It
nice
started to get
schedule.
real sweet.
that shit was fucking
Sweet. And then all of a sudden, Aaron still got it. Nah, man.
But all
You be looking at Aaron Rodgers with some tinted glasses sometimes, bro. He wasn't good.
All those games that we lost early in the season were against great playoff teams. We lost against the Vikings in a one-score game. All those games we lost by one
You was in a do
score.
or die with the Titans.
Yes.
Yeah, week 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm saying even the Broncos, last second field goal, that's how we lost the game.
Sure. Yeah,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
that game,
Jets
neither team
lost
could
it,
score.
sorry.
But it's still, it's all
Both
games.
happens.
It's all
well,
games.
last year
you have
was
a-
we, so sorry.
But it's a
It's
game
all
you have a
winnable
chance
games.
of
This
winning.
year-
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
fact.
not like
Denver scored what, 8 points, 9
Nine-
points
it was
that game?
10 to 9.
It was
Yeah.
10 to 9.
It's not like we're gonna
That's
sit here and be like,
if I just look
blown
at
by 30.
a 10 to 9 game, defense just did their job. Both offenses sucked.
But that was a rainy game against the first-ranked defense in the league.
How
they're
much you
all
rookie
winnable
quarterback?
games.
How much you paid
Joe,
him?
I hear you, bro.
How much
but they're
you paid
all
him?
winnable games.
How much
He
did you
actually
pay
took
Aaron
a pay
Rodgers?
cut.
How much did you pay Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know how much
It was
we
like
paid him
100,
exactly.
it was like around 130 mil.
Did you pay him to win those games? Yes or no?
You
we
played
paid
32
everybody on the
seasons?
team to
Did
win
you
that
pay
game.
So
him
100
to
mil.
win
You
those
got 50
games?
Riv,
Yes
Riv,
or no?
Everybody on the team
I
gets
got
paid
less
to
than
win
Did
the
you
took a
game.
huge
pay
pay cut.
him to
Did he?
win
Let's
those
see.
games? Yes or
Curious.
no?
Riv.
Answer that first, and then we can get to
Riv.
yes or no. Did you pay him to win those games?
Yes, is he the only sole
They scored-
person responsible? This is
No.
this is why we're not meeting
But
eye to
we're only
eye.
talking about Aaron Rodgers
because,
right now.
Yes, because I thought Aaron Rodgers' level of play in most of those games was good enough to
See,
win.
112.
No, I disagree.
112.
Because y'all would've won
You're
those
not
games.
about to tell me that Aaron Rodgers against Bo Nix wasn't better in
75
that game.
guaranteed. No,
Being better than Bo
both
Nix
were
is
bad.
the bar.
Both were bad, but I'm saying Bo Nix, I think, had like less than 100 passing
so
yards.
if
No, he
both of
literally
them
had
were
60
bad-
yards, but he had a touchdown.
But Riv,
Where was Aaron
this-
Rodgers' touchdown?
Riv, this is what I'm
Or was
saying. I'm saying that there were games where Aaron Rodgers played well enough to win.
Which ones?
I think the Broncos one was one of those games that he played well enough
right.
to win.
37.
That was one of those games. I also thought the second game against the Patriots, he played well enough to win. But the Patriots drove down the field on our defense and they scored.
Yeah, Sauce got burned.
Okay. I remember that game.
So I'm saying there are
Keyshawn
some
Booty.
and
I remember that game.
So I'm saying there are some games where he played well enough. That's what I'm
he
just
had
saying.
he had a 57% completion rate against Denver.
We always
Yes, it was a pissing poor rain game.
It was, yeah, the weather was dreadful. It was pouring outside.
Okay. So I'll give you a pass for that one.
And then the second game
I'm not
against the
Rodgers guy, but
Patriots, he was solid. It was just the defense was terrible. I'm saying if we had a top 10 defense like we did in 2023 and 2024, I do think
What
that
about the
we would've won
Minnesota
more
game where
games.
he threw 3 interceptions?
That game,
Tough
I will
game.
put on him.
What about the San Fran game?
The San Fran game, it
Everybody.
was everybody.
But
Everybody
him,
was
right,
awful.
all I'm saying,
The Buffalo Bills game, I thought that he
no,
played well enough.
He played well that
really
game.
well.
He played
The
well.
Hail Mary, the
blesses.
Hail Mary helps a little, but they were
He
in that
played good that
game.
game. He
But
played
there
good
was
that game.
drop touchdowns too. He had
They
a drop
were.
touchdown in that
Didn't
game
he
too.
also throw an INT to seal the game?
To seal it? I don't know if to seal it, but I know that
The ball
he
was in
went-
his hands to win the game, and something happened.
He might have.
But I do
He
know
might
that
have.
in that game he had a drop touchdown. I'm just saying there were moments that it was just the entire team. The entire team just didn't play well.
GG.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying overall.
Well,
but I think
as
we'll
long
see
as-
with the Steelers. You know, I do think a quarterback coming off an Achilles injury, playing well in the second half of the season, even though against lesser competition, showcases that he needed time to get better and get his mobility back because he was more mobile in the second half of the year, and now he's going to the Steelers and he has a healthy offseason.
When's their next? Well, he had a healthy offseason because he didn't get signed until the last minute. Let's not
He
forget
also
that.
wasn't coming off an Achilles injury.
Where they play
Riff.
week 2.
I'm about to see. No, I love how we forget. He just wasn't getting signed. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
he
because
was
a Hall of
flirting.
Fame
Oh my
quarterback
God.
like that gets
This
to
is-
pick where they want to go.
Joel, this is beautiful. He plays Seattle this week. This is beautiful.
Not ideal.
Show
That's a
me
tough
what you
game.
can do. Show me. First test. Let's do it. Let's do it.
First
See,
test is the Jets.
Sure. That's how you
That's-
look at
that's
it.
a take home.
No, Riv. I mean, sorry. I said Riv.
And then look.
Drew, it's not a test because Riv is going to overlook any bad defense and just focus on the elite defenses that Rodgers
You did
can
it with
struggle
Bo
against.
Nix. You did it with Bo Nix.
Dude.
Fact. You did it with Bo. No, do nothing.
The Titans are not an elite defense.
No, stop.
They're a good defense.
Stop. No.
They're not an elite defense.
They're a good defense.
Are you comparing the Seattle Seahawks to the Tennessee
No.
Titans?
You just brought that up randomly. I didn't know.
because no,
Your
it's
point.
not- it's not that
No,
Bo
you're
Nix.
talking about last
Wait.
season. No,
Wait,
no,
it's not-
you were
it's not
minimizing
that-
Bo
No,
Nix last
listen,
I
season.
said average defense. I didn't say elite
No,
defense.
listen, Joel. Your point was, you just said, I'm going to minimize if Aaron Rodgers plays a average or below average defense, correct? Correct.
You're going to just cancel out those games.
Correct.
That's what I said.
Yes. You did the exact same thing to Bo Nickel for his rookie campaign.
I didn't cancel it out.
You love this.
You overlooked it.
You overlooked it.
You're overlooking
He
it.
played
I
the
took
Chiefs
everything into
twice.
account.
But you was another team
No,
that combines for like 12.
So is Bo
You
Nix good or
did.
no?
I think he's average. I think Bo Nix is average. That's what I
So
think
what's
Bo Nix
Rodgers?
is. I think Bo Nix right now is an average quarterback.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
I
Right?
think he's an average quarterback.
Rodgers
He's not a great quarterback. He's an average quarterback.
Is Rodgers
And-
average?
I agree.
Yes, I just said
I'm-
Aaron Rodgers is average.
I can live with that.
I literally said
I'm fine with this.
We came to a solution.
I literally said with the Jets that
He was below average.
with the 40-year-old quarterback, you need to have a good defense run. You need to support him.
No, I'm fine at average.
That's why I said
I'm fine at
that.
average. I just you do it with Bo Nix. You love to bring up how 12. You said some percentage of his touchdowns with the Chiefs,
4 games,
like 3 games. Like you just did that like an
Because
hour
we could
ago.
do it with last year's Rodgers numbers. There were 50% of them came in 4 games.
Yeah, like you just did it an hour ago with Bo Nix. So if you're gonna do the same thing, if you're gonna get upset that I'm doing it with Aaron Rodgers, then you can't do it with Bo Nix. That's all I'm saying.
Riv, I'll be honest with you. You're getting me worked up.
No, I'm thinking that just I'm thinking if Bo Nix got thrown away by a former team, and then he
that'd be
played
worse for him.
played that team week 1 and won the game and had a great performance, it would have been a statement for Bo
I agree
Nix.
with that.
It's
Well,
not like
he-
it's
Just
him
how
a
it was
game.
a statement
He
for
agrees.
Aaron Rodgers
I
against the Jets.
don't agree.
That's
do
why I
agree.
think, and I think
You
if
don't
he
think it's a statement game?
and I don't think that if let's say
Big.
Yeah.
It is the Jets, but it's huge because it was his whole team.
It's a narrative.
It's a narrative game. You know what?
Yeah, it's narrative.
I can level with that.
Narrative.
Narrative.
Right, yes.
Narrative. If you
It
just
definitely-
big game's nuts.
Because
Fair.
think about it, Aaron Glenn.
There were like 80% people picked them to win.
Yeah. I know
Aaron Glenn had all offseason to game plan for Aaron Rodgers.
As far as he's concerned, he's good with his quarterback.
He is good with his quarterback, but his side of the ball that
sure.
he is the mastermind of
For sure.
did not look good.
If you want to say narrative during game, I can level with that.
Outside of
Definitely
Jalen
not.
Ramsey,
I can-
who was an absolute living
I can
legend.
also another game against the Colts, AR drove down the field on us and won the game on us.
We put up points in that game.
Yeah. So that's another game that I thought Aaron Rodgers played well enough to win.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that Aaron Rodgers' level of quarterback play was good enough if we had the support around him.
You called him better
to
than
win
Brock
games.
Purdy.
Aaron Rodgers? I mean,
You said that.
ranking all time is easy.
No. You said that last year. You said he.
Ranking all time. It's easy.
So look, he got Seattle, New England, Minnesota. Then a
DeAndre
bye.
Swift's been a workhorse.
Yes,
He hasn't done much,
those are
but-
tough, and
He's been terrible.
Can't
We'll,
ever
we'll
carry.
see how Aaron Rodgers plays. We'll see.
If he
exactly
plays
how he
well, you got it.
Where's that? Is it in Seattle or
It can
No,
be
it's home.
anywhere.
It's home. It's home.
It's
It's in
home.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's big. I mean,
It can be
Seattle's-
anywhere. It's insane. In Seattle,
They
it's
would win in
tough.
Seattle.
No, I'm saying I won't. If whether it was in Seattle or in Pittsburgh, I'll still give
I
him
mean,
his
listen,
flowers.
depending on how the Steelers defense looks, because the Steelers defense was garbage week
terrible.
one.
Yeah.
I'm just
We'll
looking
see
at
what
the
Seattle
League,
does.
maybe.
I'm just
We'll see
looking at
what
one
Seattle
side
does.
of the ball. That's it. Offense.
I mean, for sure.
Garrett
Let's
Wilson.
see how Aaron Rodgers plays.
I'm excited. I
I've
hope
always been a
he
Garrett Wilson
slept.
fan.
Seattle.
I don't want to hear it, Dels.
We're
You
getting this-
slept. Oh, here we go. Finally.
Oh, DeAndre Swift.
But one thing I will say, I didn't overlook it with Bo Nix. I took, after taking everything into account, my conclusion
No,
was that he was average.
You can't see the
Taking
fucking
everything to count, he's
shit-eating
like,
grin on
let's
his face.
paint an ugly picture.
Yeah, for sure. He
No,
capped.
Griff, excellent
No,
counterpoint.
he capped. He capped. He
Elite
capped. He
counterpoint.
capped. Now he got to run it back.
Because I was with him the whole time, and then he started saying that, and you hit him with some good knowledge.
No.
Because it's
not
true.
low,
He's
man.
not going to care about
I
anything
agree
that he
with what
does
you're
good.
saying, but you also were being tinge bit hypocritical.
No, not even, because my whole point was that he made a statement against the Jets. I never said he made a statement for the season. I never said he made a statement that he's going to go on to be an all-pro. I just said he made a statement against the New York
You called
Jets
him a dark horse.
for comeback player of the year. Yes.
He would have to play pretty great. It's some good
He had to
comeback
play
player of the
pretty
year.
well. Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's a good start.
Yes,
It
they have
is
to
a
play pretty
really
well.
good start.
Yeah.
But
I-
I mean, the competition isn't the pool is not that large.
Dak.
It's probably just Dak, and then that's
Dak's
it.
Well,
gonna
Aiden's,
win the award.
Aiden's up
And Aiden
there.
Hutchinson.
Yeah,
Aiden
CMC's up
Dak's winning it, guaranteed.
Some names.
Yeah, Dak, if he's healthy, he's probably
It's
gonna
just
win
Rodgers' end of season stats last year came out to be kind of pretty. So if he does
it.
the
26
same thing,
touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
yeah. So
That shit's still weak.
no, it did not feel like 26 and 12.
Rodgers.
Felt like 18 and 14.
Like Russ year one.
Yeah, high key.
Eesh.
Are the Colts better than we thought?
It just depends on how good we think Miami is.
Miami might be god awful.
Shane Steichen needed a quarterback. That's what I realized.
And Daniel Jones made a statement in week 1.
He
Daniel Jones did
1000% made a statement in week 1 because Russell Wilson looked like absolute putrid dog shit in New York, but Daniel Jones actually looked like a competent starting level
I'll tell you what,
quarterback.
Drew, they told us AR should start. That's what they told us.
I mean, that's ridiculous. I'm still waiting on my Venmo.
They told us AR should start. They said
what?
Who would win the quarterback battle?
I was just never told the amount.
Battle's not over
That's
yet.
it.
It's done.
Battle
that
goes on
got
every
it.
week.
I
What
got
Daniel
it.
Jones did is bought himself at least five to six
five, at
games
least.
of you have a very long leash here. But
He played good.
I
When
think
AR had the same game,
No.
when they
No.
won that game with
I
AR,
can't. I mean, he had a
no.
historic game. I can't sit here and let fucking lie.
they would have won that
No,
game.
no,
with
you're
AR.
going to tell
They'd
me
have
to
won.
straight face that
They'd have
AR
won.
would have had every single drive resulted in a touchdown or a field goal. You're going to say that?
Reaching foul.
That's egregious.
They would have won,
If
though.
you would have said
They'd
that
have
about
won.
Daniel Jones, I would have thought you'd be crazy too.
But here's the thing now. It's reality. It's true.
Yeah, it is.
Daniel Jones had one of the
Yes.
all-time great days in NFL history.
That's a fact.
Understand
That's a
that.
statistical fact.
He had one of the best days, quite literally, ever. The run game really wasn't even that good. Jonathan Taylor was a bell cow in the first half.
He was
Second
all right.
half, they realized that they were whipping the Dolphins' ass. They really didn't utilize him. Daniel Jones was doing whatever he wanted. Shout out, because I'm not going to shout him out later. Tyler Warren was really good
was
in this
awesome.
game. I really, really liked what I saw from him. Michael Pittman just needed a quarterback, and he needed to be healthy. Michael Pittman looked really good yesterday, too. Daniel Jones was awesome. Daniel Jones did
Going
a
through his
job.
progressions,
Yeah,
hitting
I'm
his
not
on-target passes.
overreacting too much to Andy just because I did not have very high hopes for Miami. Given I didn't think they were going to look this terrible, but I thought the Colts, like, we had them. I believe most of us had them, you know, a third place team, but they always felt like a team that could win between like 6 and 8 games. They could be competent
Same
week to
tier,
week.
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think any of us expect them to be like a serious playoff team. Week 1 against Miami, obviously what they did really on both sides of the ball. I mean, Miami's offense kind of imploded, but you know, got to give them credit. At least the Colts defense credit. And offensively, we listen, we can talk all we want. We can talk about the, you know, how sustainable is what they just did. It's not sustainable. But I mean, Daniel Jones has had moments where, oh, what is that? He's had moments throughout his career where he has had, you know, some real competent quarterback play week in and week out for really a full season. It's been some years, but Daniel Jones has shown, if you give me some protection, if you give me a good play caller,
There's no flaws.
a couple weapons, he could have an exceptional season and fucking win a playoff game. But I think
No
this,
flaws.
if I had to
You slept too,
choose,
stop.
if I had to choose, is
I'm only
this
allowed to do that.
the Colts are good or holy shit, Miami's in trouble? I'm leaning on holy shit, Miami's in trouble.
That's kind of where
You're
I'd
being so
lean
nice.
as well. But
So you're not here with the Ryan Tannehill redemption arc.
this is what I'll tell you.
Because you can get on the train. I'm allowing it one time pass.
I've been here.
I do
You've been
think-
here for sure.
bro. we're
You're
not-
so far gone. After the
we have to
after
not
the-
want to be
I
back,
don't wanna-
brother.
We have
Daniel Jones,
Dell's
shut up.
poster
You have
on
no
the
fun.
train. Do
Stop.
not let that man
You
on it.
literally
we
have no
ain't-
fun ever in your life.
We ain't
Stop.
doing that.
Yeah, I'll root for Lamar
Yeah,
instead.
And lose.
yeah, literally. Congrats.
Okay, 2
Loser.
rings.
That's
L.
so easy.
Did you make that up?
MVPs.
Yo, bro,
40,
he's a
40 and slip. That's what is coming this year, baby.
He's delusional.
Nah,
2
give it to him.
rings.
Justin Fields is his quarterback. He's good.
Yeah,
He's
my
good.
quarterback.
He
He's
said
literally
2
good.
rings with Lamar. He's delusional. He thinks they won already.
Listen,
soon,
brother,
bro.
on this
soon.
couch, MVP is a ring.
Wow.
That's embarrassing. Wow.
No, he's literally
He's
insane.
sick, bro.
He's literally insane.
Here's where I'm at with Daniel Jones. I was thinking about it and I said, I mean, Shane Steichen was able to get the best out of Gardner Minshew.
Talk.
If you can win 8-9 games with Gardner Minshew, with this talented of a team, I think you could win 9 games with Daniel Jones.
And I want to speak directly to the camera. And really, I'm not talking to the audience as opposed to I'm talking to Logan Camden. Logan, this was a prime example of how much better Daniel Jones is than Gardner Minshew. Don't think I will ever forget me being on your show, Nerd Sesh. Tune in. Amazing guys, amazing dudes, handsome as sin. Shout out to Carson as well. Don't think I forgot about that little debate that we had between Gardner Minshew and Daniel Jones. It's evident Daniel Jones clears. Gardner Minshew would never, ever participate in NFL history because that's what Daniel Jones did. He made NFL history. Now back to you. I'm here. And if Daniel Jones goes up against the Denver Broncos and has a good game, good, because Cam Ward didn't have a good game. Although I do think he played better than what the numbers say.
he got sold a lot.
We absolutely dominated that matchup. if he goes out there and has a good performance against us and pulls out an upset win against us as well,
You'll be 0-2. I mean 1-1.
we'll be 1-1. I'll be bummed. I want the Broncos to win. I do think we will win.
Broncos on fraud watch if they lose.
We lose to the Colts. We are on fraud watch, but then on top of it,
so early is so funny.
on top of it,
They're gonna be on next week's NFL Weekly Awards.
That's a fact.
We 2 fraud watch.
on top of us being on fraud watch, the Colts would be on.
Contender watch.
Are they the Minnesota Vikings of the 2025 season?
Sheesh.
That'd be magical. That'd be magical.
Not wrong.
folks.
You're not wrong.
Isn't this the 2025 season?
That's what I'm saying.
Of the 2025 season.
The Minnesota Vikings
Are
of
they the
25?
Minnesota Vikings of 2025?
And you're saying like just underrated team.
That we
No one expecting them to
slept on them
yeah.
coming into the season. Colts are average at
quarterback
best.
we don't like.
I like that.
At least
I like
most
that.
people don't
I mean,
like.
we know the Colts have talent. It's just
Yeah,
It would
right.
add up. You were in on Sam. You've been in on
Yo,
DJ.
I'll never. I said to myself,
Yo, can
I
you
would
stop?
never.
My leg.
yeah, bro.
But you literally put your hand on his crotch.
Yeah, bro.
That being said, I told myself I would
did.
never root for or buy anything Colt related.
You did say that.
If Daniel has a Ryan Tannehill season,
about to
bro,
cry.
I literally have no choice.
Dude, save that bread. Save that bread.
Remember 2025.
That bread is hilarious.
You don't know what Daniel Jones meant to me in 2022.
I know. I was there.
It was a
We were all there.
great breakout season of 15 passing touchdowns.
Fried him.
What about the Russian? What about the Russian?
He had
Jordan?
Talk
22
to him.
touchdowns.
Playoff win, baby.
Yeah, beat Kirk Cousins, your Minnesota Vikings.
Here
Remember
we
that?
go.
Oh.
Jet.
Jet dropped that.
Fuck
That's
no.
a drop.
No, it's not. Ooh.
Went through his hands, I think.
Too
All right,
fast, bro. Too fast.
That's going to do it for episode 508 of the Pixar Podcast. We are going to do the awards next episode with Pick'em because this episode went longer than expected.
Per
We
usual.
spent a lot of time on the in and outs and the week one overreactions. We hope that you guys enjoyed it. But you guys can follow us on Twitter at Pixar Pod,
need you
on
to get that,
Instagram
kid.
and TikTok at Pixar Podcast.
Yeah, I need you
and
to get
also, our week 2 NFL Pick'em poll is now live on Splash Sports. Next episode, we'll do a better job at mentioning that in the beginning of the episode. But it is live on Splash Sports if you guys want to go join our NFL Week 2 Pick'em. And I'm going to mention this next episode as well in the beginning. But anybody that comes in first place in Pick'em is going to get a prize each week. And here's the thing. Sometimes people might have the same record. So if you have the same record as somebody and y'all all came in first place and you tied first place, then we will do a raffle between all of you guys and pick one winner because you guys all basically tied in first place. So if you guys want to win prizes, then join our Splash Sports contest, NFL Week 2 Pick'em. I'm going to announce the next pod as well, but thank you guys for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed the new episode with the setup and the camera that we were supposed to use in last episode because this was the camera we were supposed to use. We hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.